start streaming. And
who was it that suggested that though?
That we record live?
No. The
Arch Deluxe.
Okay, I was gonna say we should
now recording.
Now recording. Yes, we will definitely shout them out. Unsupported resolution. Whatever. Who cares? It's mostly audio anyway. Our Cardinals podcast episode 2 live. Audio only, so people don't get confused. Category, sports. Privacy, public, that's fine.
Category, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes. If only that was an option. Should be an option, shouldn't it?
1000%.
Privacy. There we go. Okay. I'm still getting notifications, which I thought I turned off. That's a pain. Discord. Preferences. Notifications. Can I just mute all notifications? You know what? I'll just do it in the one server that I'm getting notifications from, and that should be fine.
So speaking of, I
we
think
are
one
live,
of our...
by the way. Nobody's watching yet, and nobody has the link yet. But this part is being just FYI, in case.
It's fair enough. It's fair enough.
I want to make sure you know.
No. Because I was going through the thread that you'd posted.
Yeah.
About having potential guests. One person I think we should have is I may mispronounce this, so no one judge me, but La Rouge.
Yes, La Rouge. La Rouge, yeah. La Rouge 20.
I think she should be one of our guests. Because I think being from Puerto Rico would be a very interesting perspective to have with Yachty and Javi Baez and all of the kind of things they do. So I think it'd be very interesting to have her. And I might cut this part out, but nonetheless, I think
it's
she'd
definitely
be
out live if somebody goes back and watches the YouTube video. But
whatever.
That's
I
fine.
I already told her that.
No,
so
yeah, I agree. I think she's a good option. There's a lot of good options in there that we might have discussed off mic, whatever. But I again, since I'm sure there's people who will have seen or are watching, I don't know to be like, oh, you mentioned my name. Like, actually, Ghost Somali Pirates was supposed to be in Chicago today, and we had discussed the idea of him straight up just being in my bedroom, my bedroom studio, but he ended up not being able to come out.
It would have been awesome. I want to say he was at the games this weekend, right?
Yes, he was. Yeah, because he lives in Oregon or something. He goes to whatever. So he had to fly back to school tomorrow morning, which is why he didn't stay out. But so he flew in, was in St. Louis for a week, or maybe Missouri. I think he might live in Columbia. I'm not sure. But whatever. He was there for a week, and then has to fly back out tomorrow morning, which is the only reason he's not in Chicago right now.
Well, nonetheless, I appreciate his effort to be on the podcast.
But he would still like to be on the show, and I think we'd be happy to have him.
I would be very happy to have him.
Tyler is also somebody who lives 45 minutes from me. I literally was with him an hour and a half ago. He just has also things to do.
What goes on?
Cool. Okay, so I am going to put up a timer.
Okay.
Just to help us from being
keep it
yeah.
short.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I think we should be okay, but we did go. We were like an hour 45 last week.
I was gonna say, yeah, we that it was our number one bit of feedback that it was too long.
Oh yeah, so. yeah, and that was we said that literally after we hit stop was, hey, I think we went on too long. So
intro when you're ready.
Yes, let me. So I think real quick, the first thing we're going to talk about is the elephant in the room, because it's kind of hard to avoid. So we'll just start with that.
Okay.
And then after that, we'll just talk about the 2 series and the upcoming series, and then cover feedback and stuff in the thread. And then as we go along, we can talk about stuff on the in the YouTube comments. I was
gonna say, send me that so that
yes, way I was planning on doing that right now because you need that. Let me also server mute this one because apparently everybody's talking tonight.
This is an impressive amount of production value, to be honest. So
what, the fact that the logo's up on the thing? Okay. All right. So I guess we'll get started in 3, 2. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second installment of the r/Cardinals podcast. I am, of course, Naim Siddiqui. You might know me better as Kuhan Luke, one of the moderators of r/Cardinals. Joining me once again, my co-host on this wonderful journey is Mac Huff, a.k.a. Return of the Hack. How's it going, Hack?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Listen, nobody's called you out for being a weird racist yet, so that's great.
We're doing good.
We're doing good. 2 weeks in a row that nobody said that Hack is a racist, and people met you this past weekend in real life, and nobody said you were racist. So that's
and nobody said I was racist.
So it must be true.
So I mean, so far so good. We can't be sure.
So far so good. We are recording this live on YouTube right now. I believe we have 3 people watching, so that's exciting. We'll see if anybody else starts watching, or we are watching the YouTube comments, or trying to. But we might continue to do this live on YouTube, depending on how well this does. It would be on my YouTube channel, or we might make a YouTube channel for the show. We'll see. We should probably make a Twitter account for the show too, because nobody told us they have the R Cardinals account yet. But whatever, we'll figure that out. We don't even have a title yet, which we will have by the end of the show, because we did get some great suggestions. So we'll talk about those soon as well. But first, we have to talk about. I think we have to talk about the elephant in the room, and that is Jordan Hicks.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going with that.
Is that not where you thought I was going with the elephant in the room? Hold on. I'm just going to take a time out. Where did you think I was going?
Oh, Pujols.
Oh, you thought I was going with Pujols? No, we'll talk about Pujols when we talk about the Angels series, because I don't think there's really anything else to talk about. I think Jordan Hicks is the thing that we need to talk about pretty much right away off the top of the bat broadcast.
Makes me so sad.
It's very sad. Yeah, Jordan Hicks the Cardinals announced that Jordan Hicks has torn his UCL, which they have not officially announced that he's done for the season or that he's getting Tommy John, right? But he's almost certainly done for the season and getting Tommy John. Like, it's not official yet, but you know,
it's kind of official. So
yeah, they officially said the reliever has a torn ulnar collateral ligament, and the team is determining the next course of action for Hicks. So you know, we'll see what happens. Occasionally, pitchers are able to get through without Tommy John. I think it was Seth Maness or Kevin Seager, something like that, a couple of years ago.
Maness, I believe.
Was it Maness who had like such a specific kind of tear that he was able to get away with not having to get any surgery at all?
It was also like an experimental surgery, so it wasn't a guarantee. So
right, and it worked out well enough for Seth Maness, but he's also not the Seth Maness he was. But who knows? That might just be Mike Matheny breaking people. So yeah, it's sad and frustrating, and it sucks. But let's talk real quick about how the Cardinals are going to proceed. So, assuming, which I think is a pretty safe assumption, it's a high chance that Hicks will be shut down for the season, get Tommy John surgery, and he'll be back for 2021, or possibly very unlikely the stretch run of 2020. But with how young he is, I doubt they'll want to let him, come back too early like that. So let's assume he's shut down for the season. What do you think happens to the bullpen? Now, Hicks had already been a little erratic, which is spelled with an E and a T. But
allegedly.
Allegedly, it's spelled with an E and a T. But he was there at the end of the bullpen to do what he could to anchor it. Obviously, 105, 104, 103, 102 miles an hour were the fastest pitches in the league this year, and that's no matter how much you can pick up, it's hard to get solid contact off those things. But that there was already kind of a little question mark in the bullpen with John Brebbia sort of losing his dominance from the first 2 months here in June, which, I mean, Brebbia's dominance in April and May was surprising anyway, so I'm not super surprised that he's come back down to earth in June, but he has shattered back down to earth. John Gant as well has been very, very good up to now in the season, but maybe showing a little sign of wear. And then Martinez, I think those are really the only three guys that I would even think would be in the discussion.
Yep, I kind of agree with that. So the two that I picture in that role now are Gant and Martinez.
Yeah.
I would say Gant over Martinez. I think Martinez is better off suited in this kind of Andrew Miller-esque role where he kind of can go in and out of just different locations. I think I'm laughing at the same thing that you're laughing at.
That Beast Base points out that Bartolo Colon is a free agent.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is not false.
I mean,
but I think John Gant is going to be the person that they end up going with in that role.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think, it depends because obviously Mike Schilt has only been managing for the end of the back half of last season and now the first half of this season. So we don't have a lot of data to see on him. However, he has seemed very comfortable using Gant in that fireball role. Which could mean he'll continue to do that and lock down Martinez in the closer role. Which he has sort of, Martinez has been used a little bit as a fireman, but he's been a lot more as sort of as a traditional setup guy. So I wouldn't be surprised if Gant continues in the role he's already in, which he's had success in, and Martinez gets moved to the closer role, which again he's had success in a relief role in the past. If you go back to my hit single Rosie time, Carlos Martinez had the 8th inning locked down for his rookie season before he finally got moved back into the rotation.
It is fair to say that Rosenthal is a free agent.
Yes, so. Trevor, and I did also point that out. As you know, I am a fan of Trevor Rosenthal, and if you scroll down my YouTube page, you will see my ode to Trevor Rosenthal from 12 or 13. It must have been. I think that's 13. Um, so he has been very bad this year, but he's got the pieces. He's always had the pieces. I'm sure some team will pick him up and see if they can figure him out and get him back to at least some semblance of dominance.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's our team or not. We will see. But
as B-Space would say, he's a free agent.
He is a free agent.
B-Space for closer.
Yes, B-Space is also a free agent. That is technically true. He is not signed with any one team. I think Edwin Diaz. There's also discussion that the Mets obviously first of all should not have been all in on this season, and second of all clearly are not all in anymore, and should be sort of sending pieces away. So I wouldn't be surprised if Edwin Diaz or even Sean Doolittle of the Nats is available in a trade if that's the way the Cardinals end up going.
Doolittle is a very interesting proposition. I had forgotten about him, so I'm very glad you brought that up.
He is a lefty as well, isn't he?
Not 100% sure on that one.
He is. Hold on. He definitely bats left-handed. Let me double check to make sure. He throws left-handed too. There's weird ones who don't. So Sean Doolittle would be an interesting proposition. Obviously, the Cardinals have been looking for lefties anyway. They picked up Andrew Miller in the offseason. They picked up Brett Cecil a year or two ago. Those have not worked out as well as we would have hoped. But Doolittle is a very interesting proposition, and I don't know what's left on his contract, but he's not part of the next good Nationals team. 2020 is also he has a team option for next year, and yeah, he's signed for this year. So I would not be surprised.
I was gonna say you beat me on that one.
Yeah, I already had the Baseball Reference page open, so I just scrolled down. So I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes available through trade, and he's certainly somebody who I could see the Cardinals trying to pick up. And he's been sort of a shining spot of a very bad Nationals rotation. Nationals bullpen, who has gotten a lot better since they fired Derek Lilliquist, apparently.
What a shock.
I don't think Lilly was that bad. I thought Lilliquist was fine. I don't think it was great, but I thought he was fine. Obviously, Mike Maddox is an improvement, who was the Nationals' old pitching coach.
I think there's a very big. I understand the point that you're making there, whereas he wasn't that bad, but also I think this is a full microcosm of.
Nats pitching was bad, and they were that's what it is.
I was even going back to Cardinals.
Cardinals,
I think it's a microcosm of what's happening, and it's kind of this weird back and forth between the front office and the dugout, and that's a whole nother topic that we could probably spend an hour and 45 minutes on, like we did last week.
You think that's still happening under Schilt, though?
I waffle on it, because I think half of Schilt is a player's first guy, and I think half of Schilt is a yes man for the front office. And Matheny was not, as much as people wanted to believe he would listen to the analytics. Schilt is 1,000% listening to the analytics.
Right. I think Matheny was really neither of those things. He was just bad at everything.
I don't think he was bad. I just think he's not listening to the front office, and the front office. It's the Moneyball thing, where it's, if you don't play the team the way they're designed to be played, we're not going to win.
Right. No, I understand what you're saying.
100%.
I'm also
Schultz gonna do it.
I'm also separately saying Mike Matheny was bad at his job.
That is your opinion to have, and I agree with you. I don't think it's very good.
Whatever is whatever. I just think that also separate point. Mike Matheny was bad.
but I think that's what people are kind of, in terms of the trying to think of the way to put it, but in terms of the people who are saying, oh, maybe we hired Schilt too early, maybe they, that maybe this is what they want, kind of thing. I think that's the problem right now, is they're trying to figure out, is Schilt just listening to the analytics staff and going with whatever they say, Or is it a combination of the two of he's listening to the analytics staff and like maybe the analytics staff is wrong. We don't know. Like we're trying to figure this thing out. And I think a problem with it is that Matheny was Mr. Old School and was not going to just do exactly what everybody told him to do.
Right. All right. I think we've veered off of what we were talking about, but we did make some solid points. So I guess we'll move on. There were a couple questions about that, and we're gonna do questions a little bit later from you guys in the Reddit thread, both about this episode as Hack cracks a beer. It's like the perfect sound from a commercial too. Anyway,
it really is.
Which we'll discuss. From both the Reddit thread and also today's daily discussion thread. We'll discuss those later in the show. But I guess now we're gonna move on and talk about the baseball that happened this week, because baseball certainly happened this week. And of course, we played a 4-game series with the Marlins and then a 3-game series with the Angels. So we'll talk about the Marlins series. You will have to wait on the Angels series. So the Marlins series, we already talked about the first game of that series, which was the Miles Mikolas 5-0 win. There was also a Jack Flaherty 0-6 loss, a Daniel Ponce de Leon 2-1 win, and an Adam Wainwright 6-7 loss. And there was some more Jack Flaherty in base running in this series. Boy howdy. So first of all, Mikolas win, we already talked about. Flaherty loss, do you really have anything you want to say about that? Tough loss, but it was 0-6. You can't win if you don't score runs.
Absolutely not. Nothing to say about it.
Yeah. Ponce de Leon has 2 starts in this month, and I think 1 or 2 earlier in the season as well. Got sent back down to AAA when Adam Wainwright was activated from the DL. How do you feel about Ponce?
He's one of those. Okay, here's how I feel about a lot of the young starters. With Flaherty and Ponce and Hudson, I feel every single day that they get rolled out, they give them a chance to win, but it's not the same feeling as you have with Wainwright right now, where it's just Wainwright goes out right now and it feels a little bit nostalgic Wainwright.
Well, you say that, but
I say that, and they lost the last time out,
and the time before that.
And time, but he like, you feel a lot more confident when he's on the mound right now than you do with those 3.
I don't know about that. I feel like
you don't. Okay.
I feel like I feel more confident with Dakota Hudson right now than I do with Adam Wainwright.
That's fair.
Especially like Flaherty is can be hit or miss. Mikolas, and we'll certainly talk about Mikolas again. Hopefully not too long like we did last time, because we talked plenty about Miles Mikolas last time. But we'll discuss him a little bit when we talk about the Angels series. And Waka especially. Definitely not comfortable when those guys are on the mound. But Wainwright, I'm more comfortable than the other 3 guys, even though maybe I shouldn't be. But I think right now, at least the way the results have gone and the way the ERA is and all that, Dakota Hudson's probably the best pitcher in the rotation, which should not be true with this rotation.
I agree with that 100%. But I think, like I said, there's not any one person in this staff that is the dominant and, honestly, for lack of better comparison, like Chris Carpenter style attitude, where it's, I'm going to go out and I'm going to shove. And Absolutely. there's not one person that in that rotation that
right.
is
and that's definitely, like, there's definitely guys, who you can name on other teams right away, even if they're not getting the same kind of results like they should. But like your Kershaws, your Scherzers, Stroman, your Bumgarner, again, who's not getting the results he should, but has that mentality on the mound that I am coming out to win this baseball game. And Wainwright a couple of years ago, I think Wainwright comes out now with the intention that we need to win this ball game, and I'm going to do whatever I can to win this ball game, but not the mentality of we are going to win this baseball game, And I think that's what you had 5 years ago with Wainwright. But right now it's definitely, he's battled injuries and he's 37 years old. That's really not the mentality a guy like that should have.
But okay, so here's the one thing that my mom argue about this a lot. My mom, for the people who don't know this, I grew up during the Bob Gibson days, and she always talks like no pitcher I've ever seen has ever been that kind of guy that goes out and is like, I'm going to throw 9 innings. And regardless of if Matheny, Schilt, whoever comes out to get me, I'm throwing 9 innings. Doesn't matter.
Right.
And that was when I would tell her, I was like Chris Carpenter was that way. Chris Carpenter would go out and he's, I'm going to throw all 9 innings. And I think there are days where Wainwright feels that way. And there are some days where Wainwright does not feel that way at all.
Right.
And I think there's this shift in mentality on a lot of them. I think Flaherty some days goes out and says he's going to throw all nine innings. He's not going to, because Schilt and the coaching staff aren't going to
let him. No, of course. No, I think there's and again those same guys that we mentioned earlier, your Bumgarners, your Kershaws, your Scherzers, are guys who cut out. Max Scherzer broke his nose this week and was like, no, I'm going to go out and pitch. He probably said I'm going to go out and pitch 9 innings, and he pitched 7 innings, and and got 10 strikouts and allowed no runs.
It's ridiculous.
That's absolutely that's a Bob Gibson mentality. That's a Chris Carpenter mentality, and that's that's not. We don't have a guy like that on the rotation right now. I agree with that. And Wainwright is I agree. He's got flashes of being that guy, and there was that. Was it the Cubs game this month that he went out and said, no, I'm finishing this game, and I think he threw 8 innings or whatever. So he's certainly got flashes of being that guy, but his
it's the one at home. The one at home that they won 2-1.
But it's just his body does not allow him to be that guy. That's just what it is.
I think it's 8 innings, 126 pitches.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous,
which is ludicrous and perhaps shouldn't have been allowed. like perhaps Mike Schilt should have put his foot down and said,
screw it.
I know you think you can. I know. I know what you're saying. And I agree with you. It's a tough line to straddle there. Where with do you let him go out back for that 8th inning, or do you put your foot down and say, no, you're 37 years old and we need you down the stretch, or we need you for the next 2 starts this month, which were not good. And also, the next start we lost, and then he hurt himself on the base paths, and then he was gone for a week and a half. It's a tough pill to swallow sometimes. But anyway,
oh wow.
We talked a little about Ponce. Let's talk about the Wainwright start, which was not that great for Wainwright. And it's another game, just like we were talking about last week, where the Cardinals clawed back. They were losing, and they clawed back. And then it's like deja vu all over again. Because Jack Flaherty made a dumb out on the base paths. And
I don't want to compare him to Colton Wong in 2013, but I have to compare him to Colton.
It's honestly the same situation, but slightly less bad. Very less
not
bad.
In the World Series.
First of all, it's not the World Series, and second of all, Colton Wong's on first base, where you expect pickoff moves a lot more than on second base. But boy,
This wasn't looking.
It's tough. It's tough, right? Because his issue with the issue the previous time was that he was looking. And he was looking too hard and wasn't just looking at his base coach. And this time, he was like, all right, I'm just going to do whatever the base coach says. Let me get a bit of an extra lead so I can make this run. And then he got picked off. It's hard to blame Flaherty, Because, first of all, he's not supposed to be a base runner. He got thrust into those situations just by sheer force of, this is what we got. And then, this was just he got screwed, like how do you do that?
It's one of those things, Stuart. You can't. He got caught looking the other way. You can't even. You can fault him for it, but you can't say, "Oh, he should have been like paying better attention." Like he was literally just looking the other way, and it was just like a split second, and it happens, and it sucks. But honestly, I will be the first person to say, like, I've got picked off before, and I've got picked off while paying attention, and I suck at that shit.
It's just, it's honestly, it's always, there's nothing more frustrating than making the last out of the inning on the base paths, let alone the last out of the game on the base paths. Like, that is that's just killer. That's killer. And by the way, the call right before that, which might have been, if it hadn't worked out, might have been the big base running blunder of the game, was the decision, Pop Warner's decision to send Jose Martinez home from, I don't remember if he was on first or if he was on second. I think he might have been on first. I think he might have sent him first to home, and it was a bang bang play at the plate, and like Martinez was almost out, and that could have been the "what are you doing" on the base paths.
It could have been the second time that he sent somebody that everybody questions.
Right. And like, honestly, it's what it is. Pop Warner is aggressive on the base paths. He's, and I like it. I like that the Cardinals are aggressive on the base paths. We saw a lot of aggression on the base paths, and we've seen a lot of aggression on the base paths this year. And I guess aggression is probably means something different. But I've seen a lot of aggressiveness on the base paths all year, and I've been a big fan of it. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think there was like an Ozuna Martinez double steal in the next series or something like that. Like something that makes no sense on paper, but worked out. So I like that, and I like the small ball. But and honestly, if this was the one Flaherty mistake within the course of a week, it'd be one thing. But it's honestly, you just gotta feel bad for Jack Flaherty. Like, he's not a base runner. He's just
a dude trying to run bases.
In the game thread, I was like, Jack, you know what to do this time. Don't fuck it up, and immediately gets picked off second. I'm like, Jack, you fucked it up. Like, it's just. And you could see, like, he was like kind of like laughing to himself at the absurdity of it all at the end of the game. And some people got mad by that, and I kind of get it, but like, dude, it just sucks. Like, he's just like, look, man, I can't believe this is happening again.
It was very much a God fucking damn it.
You could just hear like the "Hello, darkness, my old friend," like, and the slow zoom in.
He's just like, this fucking sucks. It's like, I know what's going on.
It's just and like some more free promotion for John Boy Media did the same sort of breakdown for both of the Flaherty base paths. Just like, dude, I'm not a base runner. I'm a pitcher. Like, I don't know why I'm here. Like, I'm here because I'm faster than Dakota Hudson, I guess.
Faster than Dakota Hudson, faster than Matt Wieters.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about Wieters and Yachty, but that's the question, right? Do you at that point, should you leave Yachty on the base paths? Because maybe Yachty doesn't make it to home on a single, but Yachty also doesn't get picked off a second, right? Like, it's such a obviously Monday morning quarterbacking. Like, I think it's but it's just like, and okay, so here's my question to you before we move on to the Angels series. Does Jack Flaherty get another chance to pinch run, or is it Hudson now?
I guess it depends on the situation, but I would say he does, but only
assuming Hudson isn't pitching the next day or whatever. Like, obviously, because Flaherty has used both situations because he had pitched like a day or two prior. So like,
only if Flaherty is the only choice. Only if Flaherty is the only choice. Right.
But so you think it's
not going to be Wainwright. It's not going to be Ponce.
I'm talking Flaherty versus Hudson. Like, Flaherty versus Hudson, and if Ponce comes back, maybe Ponce is in the discussion. I don't know how fast Ponce is, but and by the way, today is Monday, June 24th, and the Cardinals are at home. Do you think Flaherty's been doing base running drills all day?
No.
No, you don't? Not at all?
Not at all. I think none of it matters because. First of all, he pitches tomorrow, so that's not happening. Sure.
No, he's definitely not going to pinch run tomorrow, but like, they got a day off at home, and I'm sure that, like, if you have a day off at home, you're doing stuff. Like, it's not like you
absolutely
have,
not.
So You don't think Flaherty's done a single base running drill?
Nope. Maybe on maybe Thursday.
You're right.
Not today.
Maybe on his bullpen day.
Not even on his bullpen day.
I don't know.
I would say maybe maybe Friday, Thursday, Friday. We'll see.
Well, because Thursday's a flying day. I don't know. We'll see. But
Thursday's their flight. They go to San Diego on Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he'll do any of it. I think maybe next spring training we might. But
so you think it's a fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, or do you think it's a 3 strikes you're out?
Oh, I don't think he's gonna do it again unless he's the only option.
So if Hudson's an option, you think it's Hudson over Flaherty?
Yes.
Okay. I am inclined to agree with that. I don't remember the situation, but I feel like Carlos Martinez was still available in the bullpen, and at that point I would use Martinez to pinch run and then have him pitch the bottom of the inning and just double switch around stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think that's
I get you. I get you.
Because regardless of everything else, I think of the pitchers, Martinez is the best pinch running. If all things equal, I would want to use Carlos Martinez as the pinch runner over anybody else as a pitcher. Yeah. But it's just I feel bad for Jack Flaherty, but man, it's just twice in 1 week. That's such you can't ride that. That's so ridiculous. That's so ridiculous that twice in 1 week he gets caught out on the base paths.
Yeah, it just sucks.
Oh, all right. Let's talk about the St. Louis Cardinals versus the Los Angeles Albert Pujolses of Mike Trout.
As we start this, do you remember our predictions on hits?
I didn't go back and listen, but
I didn't either.
I think what were the stats? Because I know I was very high and you were very low.
It's 4 hits, 1 home run.
Okay, I think I said 5 hits, 2 home runs, and I think you said 2 hits and a walk, no home runs.
Yep.
I said
you're closer.
I would say I'm definitely closer. For sure.
You're closer. But I'm not mad that you're closer.
No, for sure. Again, it was just for fun, 0 stakes attached. Yeah, we didn't even make a bet on it.
I'm not mad that you're closer. I'm not mad that you're closer because it was a great weekend. So
yes. So really, there's very little to say about the 3 games. Let's just real quick rattle off. Waka won the first game 5-1. Hudson won the second game 4-2. Michaelis lost the third game 4-6. We will talk a little bit about the third game because there was a bit going on there. That was a Sunday Night Baseball game. And there was also, I forget if it was the first game or the second game that Marcell Ozuna hit that towering moonshot to
second
game to just off of Big Mac land. Was that the one? Oh, because you were at the first game, right? Were you?
I was at Friday, Saturday.
You were at both those games? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So we did also. There was also a mini little r/Cardinals meetup. But since you were at the game, why don't you, if there's anything you want to talk about on those 2 games, or just the experience of going back to Busch? Because I know there were standing ovations for every single for every single Albert Pujols at bat. Yadi obviously stepping in front of the plate to give them a chance to do so. But what was the experience? What was it like in the stadium itself?
Well, Friday, the first at bat on Friday was, I think, what everybody kind of expected. And it was just the whole place got up. And the first at bat on Friday, he swung at the first pitch and it was a fly out.
But it was a deep fly out.
Yeah, as soon as he made contact and I heard the crowd kind of ramp up, I knew if he did hit a home run, it was going to be people were going to lose their minds.
That would have been amazing if he hit a home run right there.
In
his first at bat, back at Busch, to hit a home run. Because he did hit one on Saturday, but to hit one in his first at bat back would have been electric.
It would have been wild. But the next at bat, I think it was the next at bat. But one of the at bats later in Friday's game was when Waka walked him on 4 pitches.
Yeah.
And so he comes up, the whole place gets up. Nobody sits down the entire at bat. Everybody's clapping through the entire at bat. and Wacha just throws him 4 straight balls. And not kidding, the entire stadium is booing Michael Wacha.
Yeah, I I know.
I was telling people, you've never seen a place do 180s that hard. Whereas everybody's rooting for the Cardinals, Albert Pujols comes up, 180. Everybody's rooting for Albert Pujols.
To boo your own pitcher for the opposing batter.
And then booed the opposing pitcher. And as soon as the next person came up, flip right back around. I was like, all right. We're back to the Cardinals. And I think everybody expected the Pujols thing to happen, and everybody kind of knew what to expect. But the one thing that I not so much am impressed with, but something that I thought, yeah, like they'll clap, but they're not going to really. It won't be as. It wasn't as. It was bigger than I thought it would be.
And I know some people are thinking like, okay, they'll. I remember if it was. I don't remember if it was on Thread. I don't remember if you said this last week too, but I remember there was some discussion of, okay, yeah, there'll be a standing ovation the first at bat of each game because it's a new crowd, and then after that, it'll calm down. It'll still be a lot of applause, but not. But a standing ovation every single at bat.
Yeah, the one that I was sitting there, I kind of got taken aback. It wasn't that I didn't expect that something would happen or anything like that, but it was more like damn, this is different. Was Trout.
Yeah.
Every time Trout didn't get a standing ovation, but every time Trout came up, it was a good solid round of applause.
Trout got probably one of the best reception I've seen for a non-Cardinal who never played for the Cardinals.
Yeah, it was every time up, it was not a standing ovation, but it was just you're fucking good at baseball, man.
Yeah. It was like the Daniel Descalso treatment, which is still pretty good. Like, that's not bad, for the kind of thing that Descalso or John Jay or I think Pete Kozma is not a Major League Baseball player anymore, but like somebody like Pete Kozma would get. Like, yep, we remember you and we liked you. And for Mike Trout, it was, yep, you're the best player in baseball. So,
but Pujols was expected for me, but Trout was not, and Trout was the one that. While I had my moment like where I teared up with Pujols and everything, but the one that really I was like, damn, this is ridiculous was when Trout would go up.
So Mike Trout, the Cardinals confirmed? Is that
confirmed?
Confirmed. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Did you see
this Photoshop that Stu posted? Oh, nutted.
Did you see the video of the highlights of when Pujols hit the home run, and I forget which broadcast it was from, but it was one of those. There's so many angles on that home run, the curtain call and everything.
Yeah, and
Pujols comes out for the curtain call, and Trout is in the foreground, and he watches Pujols go out. And like the focus is on Pujols. And Pujols is kind of waving, just saying, kind of thank you. And then the focus then shifts really abruptly to Trout. And then Trout is just like in the dugout, like, that is awesome. Like, he's just screaming. He's like, that is the coolest thing.
It's never, ever going to happen. But my God. But like, it's why people, will say like, former players and stuff like that will say, like, I don't know, like, everybody wants. I think even Goldschmidt said this when he got signed. Like, everybody wants to play in this town because it's such a wonderful baseball town. I'm not gonna say the phrase, but I will say Albert Pujols said it quite a bit this weekend. Yeah. Like, in every single, because like the St. Louis media was interviewing him all weekend, and all weekend he was saying it. Like, again. I'm not gonna say it because it's a little too conceited, but
even the kind of like mic'd up portion of Sunday Night Baseball when they would cut to Mike Trout and he was mic'd up and he was talking with Goldschmidt. He was saying like, this shit doesn't happen. Yeah. Like, this just doesn't happen, and it's
and
like you said, it's very conceited to say, but holy shit.
Yeah. And you know, like,
Time.
because playing in the American League, you know, and we have Mike Trout was a rookie the same year Albert Pujols went to Anaheim. So Mike Trout, this is the first time Mike Trout has ever played in Busch Stadium. So it's certainly cool to see. And by the way, Mike Trout, I believe, was 5 for 12 this weekend.
He was ridiculous.
And yeah, with like, but like practically no damage done. It was kind of phenomenal.
Could have been way worse. Could have been way worse.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think what, no home runs, no stolen bases. Like it was probably the best you can do for Mike Trout. To have him come through with like a 450 batting average and not get like a shit ton of damage done your way, because he was AL Player of the Week this week, and I was like, oh yeah, he did play in St. Louis this weekend, and you know, I mean, we held the Angels to 3 runs across those first 2 games, period, including the Pujols home run, which, so yeah, real quick about the Pujols home run, like,
that was 5 for 12, no RBIs.
No RBIs. Like, it's perfect. Like, of all the things you want to do, it's to keep Mike Trout from getting RBIs. So whatever, if he's getting singles with nobody on base, like, that's fine. That's fine. That's well, we'll take it. He's Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Especially against Walker, Hudson, and Michaelis, like, you know. Yeah. So Walker pitched a very good game, which was a surprise after the last outing, and coming up against a very good team. Unfortunately, Wainwright did come back, which we discussed last week, but came back the game before, which was, you know, a little annoying. Like, I understand. You give Walker an extra day, let him pitch against a better team, one who hasn't, faced before. But you could have had Wainwright pitching to Pujols with Yachty behind the plate. Like, that would have been epic.
Yeah, it would have been. And to be honest, the one thing that I appreciated being there for his first at bat back, but the home run was, every time I've talked about it with somebody, it was like, that's more than expected. Like, not more than what I would have expected.
Yeah.
It was just unreal. Because that doesn't happen, right? So
yeah, and honestly, like, did he have 1 walk or 2 walks? Whatever it was, he really looked like vintage Albert Pujols in that series. Like, maybe a second home run, but like, whatever. Like, 1 home run in 3 games is pretty reasonable to expect. Like, he looked, besides the fact that he looked like somebody had shot him in the foot, he looked like vintage Albert Pujols.
He looked like that during 2011 too, though. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah. I wouldn't call 2011 vintage Albert Pujols either. We're talking like 07 to 09 Albert Pujols is vintage. Yeah. Like, that's what he looked like. It was phenomenal. Game 3 of that series was the Miles Michaelis start. Cardinals lost that one 4-6, but did they go into the 9th inning 6-0? Was that, or did they go in the 8th innings? Like, I forget exactly what it was.
I think it was the 9th inning.
They went in the 9th inning 6-0.
Came out 6-4. And honestly, like, they could have won that baseball game if it was 4-6 with runners on first and third and Paul DeJong up to bat. Like, it certainly could have gone that could have been a walk-off. Scoring 7 runs in 1 inning. I was happy with, like, obviously a loss is a loss. Series win is a series win, which is great. But that really was quite an incredible 9th inning to see. Yeah, and I was standing in my apartment, and so I had landed probably about 2 hours prior to that. And I was standing in my apartment, and I watched the Pujols' last at bat, and the big standing ovation that he got as he was coming off the field. And then as it was going, I was
by the way, again, another curtain call for doing nothing. Like, he grounded out, left, and then got a curtain call. Because
he flew out to Paul Goldschmidt, and it was like he got a big curtain call.
Yeah, popped out.
And,
right.
But I was sitting there and I was just like, as it kept building, and it is one of those times where you can feel the crowd having a part of it, where it was just literally the whole place. Ball 1, cheers get louder. Ball 2, cheers get louder. Ball 3, cheers get louder. And you could feel them having an effect on the game. And it was one of those times where I really thought this is going to happen. Like they're going to find a way to come back here.
And you know what? Again, what I will say is it's encouraging to see how much they came back. 4 runs in an inning is like, and especially like in the bottom of the ninth, a lot of that with 2 outs. I think it was Jose Martinez was 1 out or no outs, the home run, and then after that, the next 3 runs were with 2 outs. Like that's it's very encouraging to see.
All of it was with 2 outs.
Was all of it? Jose Martinez was 2 outs too?
All of it was with 2 outs.
Wow.
And so it's just, all right, heaven forbid they come back and win this game. And if they lose, whatever, they gave it. They gave it their all.
And I mean, it would have been nice for some of that offense to come in the first 8 innings, but it was really encouraging. And also to not have given up the 6 runs and maybe have given up 3. But it was real. It's like, it's, baseball games like that, I'm not, it's not fun to lose, but to again, May was just so depressing with never being able to claw back anything ever. To see that
nice to see.
Much more often in the last couple of weeks. And by the way, we have not lost a series since we got swept by the Cubs earlier this month. Knock on wood.
That's good.
There was the split series with the Marlins, but it was a win against the Marlins, a win against the Mets, a split series with the Marlins, a win against the Angels. So like that's very, very encouraging to see the team be able to win series or at least split series. You don't love to see them split a series with a team like the Marlins, and the Mets are also not very good, and the Angels are fine but not great, despite having the best player in baseball. But it was
Cole Calhoun.
Yeah. I was going to say, it must have been difficult for you to root against Mike Trout, Cole Calhoun, and Albert Pujols, like all in the same game.
This is going to take a very ASU turn for 30 seconds. And if those of you that are listening want to skip ahead 30 seconds, I am not offended. You should absolutely do that.
I'm going to give you exactly 30 seconds before stopping you. So 30-second timer starts now.
The Cardinals intro song is Thunderstruck this year, which is also ASU football's intro. And so when I was sitting there and they're doing that, I was like, Cole Calhoun's going to have a good weekend as that was coming in. And because he's the only Sun Devil on either roster. The end.
You have 12 more seconds. Anything else you want to say?
Go Devils.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I just didn't want anybody who skipped ahead to lose content.
Absolutely not.
Shohei Ohtani also had a couple of pinch hit appearances. Which is it's one of those things that it sucks that he doesn't play the field, and also that many things. But it's cool. It's cool to be able to see Shohei. Yeah, he's somebody who might actually come to the Cardinals. He won't.
Good.
But it's possible. Like Mike Trout, that's not going to happen. That's never going to happen. Discussing it is just silly. But Ohtani, that's certainly a non-zero possibility.
It's at least a 5%.
Look, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mike Trout's like a 0.001%. Shohei Ohtani, maybe 5%. Not going to happen likely, but that's somebody we could see. All right, was there anything else you wanted to discuss in the Angels series?
Nope.
Okay. So let's talk then about the upcoming 2 series this week. There is a 2-game set against the Oakland Athletics, who are my second team, who I've not watched a lot. I've not watched nearly enough A's games this year, so I gotta do a little bit more of that. Maybe once I get used to their roster these 2 games, and then a 3-game set against the San Diego Padres and Manuel Machado, also Manuel Margot, in San Diego. How do you feel against the A's?
I feel all right.
Flaherty pitching the first game, Wainwright pitching the second game at home. By the way, Wainwright been a lot better at home this year than on the road, which has been true the last few years. He basically got the Jaime Garcia devil magic, although that Marlins loss was at home.
I think that these are 2 games they should win. not for any other reason than it is the Oakland Athletics, who admittedly are having a much better season than people realize.
Yeah, the A's are generally a pretty good team.
But I think these are 2 games they should win. This would be a good spot for Flaherty to get back on the horse, so to speak. And then Wainwright should just keep doing what he's doing, because I know that we've talked about him. He's lost his last couple outings, but he's, like we said, we feel confident with him on the mound, so I don't think he needs to really do anything with it. But this is a good spot for Flaherty, I think, tomorrow to have a very good kind of start where he can just throw strikes and find a way to do it. The Piscotty's Piscotty situation.
Mom's Piscotty.
Mom's Piscotty. Yep.
Rest in peace, Mom's Piscotty.
I think that's going to get really overshadowed, unfortunately, because I think he's going to get a pretty good little reception. But again,
it's not Pujols, right? We just had Pujols come through.
It's not going to be comparable. So
right, might be comparable to. It's going to be less than Pujols, more than Trout.
Yeah, exactly. So.
But I think the nice thing is that most people know that Piscotty went to go take care of his dying mother. And it wasn't, obviously it was a trade, but it was a, hey, look, I'm not forcing a trade, but it'd be cool if you trade me to Oakland, And it's nice that it worked out for both clubs, and Jairo Munoz has been good. It certainly would be nice if Stephen Piscotty wasn't really good in Oakland. But that trade was primarily a, hey, look, we want to do something, we want to do the right thing, and he's
the anti-Tommy fan.
Yeah. I'm honestly not mad about either trade.
No, I'm not either.
But for very different reasons.
one is a feel good trade, and the other one's like, well, like that could have gone better.
Yeah, it's like the fam thing. Like initially, I was a fam defender, and then later on, it was just sort of like a look. He just, especially like when he went, as soon as he got to Tampa Bay and started like talking shit about everything, is like, yeah, I'm fine to not. I think I was seeing rose-colored glasses. Same with like. I think, I don't remember if it was Shelby Miller or Colby Rasmus or both. Like, it's one of those things like, yeah, you know what? In hindsight, yeah, that's fair. By the way,
I think it was Colby Rasmus.
I think it was both, because I think there was a thing about Shelby Miller, like, spitting on someone in the stands, which is like, that's probably exaggerated, but also it's like, he seems like I believe he was a dick.
Big yikes.
The A's, by the way, have lost one series this month. Well, technically 2. They lost one to the Astros and then one to the Mariners. They're coming off a split with the Rays, who are very good. Before that, a sweep of the Orioles, who are very bad. But
can't confirm.
But we'll certainly see. I would be happy with a 1-1 split. But I'd certainly be happier with a 2-0 sweep.
Yeah.
Do we have a series in Oakland this season?
I don't know. I don't think we do, because I think I've looked at it to see if I could go.
It's very strange, because there's not usually a 2-game series for the interleague, but sometimes I guess there is.
I'm pretty sure we don't. And I'm not looking this up, so you could. You could look this up, and I could be very wrong.
And I just looked it up, and you are wrong. We play them in August.
Let's go. Hack's wrong.
August 3rd and presumably 4th in Oakland.
Yeah.
So
I guess quick preview of Padres, and then we'll go to Reddit questions.
Yeah, quick preview of Padres. No starters announced.
Who's starting? Yeah.
I assume it's Waka, Hudson, Michaelis, unless something happens with Waka, or unless somebody suddenly has an injury, and probably then Ponce replaces Waka or Michaelis. Probably not Hudson. But that's the way the rotation has been going. So I think it's pretty safe to assume it's going to be Waka, Hudson, Michaelis. In San Diego, which is a pitcher's park, so that's nice. Maybe fewer home runs. which have been an issue for this team this year.
But is it nicer that there's no home runs? Because then we're gonna have like no offense.
No, it's first of all, Cardinals are able to get offense sometimes. Second of all, as long as Jed Jerko starts all 3 games, there's going to be at least 3 home runs right there.
I forgot about that. I forgot about Jed Jerko.
Is Jed Jerko on the IL right now?
Is Jed Jerko alive? Is the real question.
I actually don't know what's happening with Jed Jerko. I think he is on the injured list with a lower back strain. This is likely be out until the beginning of July, but this is the very end of June, so maybe Jed Jerko will come back and pinch hit a couple of times. We'll certainly see, but Jed Jerko certainly likes to hit against the Padres. I think the Padres are worse than they should be, and I would hope we can win 2 here as well. Padres are 38-40 right now. They just got swept by the Pirates. However, they also, right before that, swept the Brewers. So baseball is a weird game.
Sweeps are hard.
They also, this 2 in a row, and one is against a good team, and the other one's a loss to a bad team. So confusing. Before that, it was a split against the Rockies, who are pretty good, actually very good. Before that, they got swept in a 2-game set by the Giants. So, I just don't. They had a 5-game loss streak, and it was Nationals, Giants, and then Rockies, which are bad, and then good. It just doesn't make any sense. So, I don't know, but
also a portion of why I'm very scared of after this stretch of games we've had, because we had Marlins, Mets, Marlins, Angels, A's, Padres.
Yeah. We'll see. What's nice too is that we had an off day today and an off day on Thursday, which is a flight day, but that's could be a good thing. Hopefully, a couple of off days here at the end of the month, because there was a quite significant stretch there where they were playing every single day from the 4th to the 23rd. So to have 2 off days in the same week is hopefully nice to get some rest. Do we want to make any sort of series predictions for either of these 2 series?
That's up to you.
I don't know. I feel like it could be a fun thing to do.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, do you want to do another former Cardinal? What is Stephen Piscotty going to do? Or do you want to do...
Let's just do straight up games.
Straight up games? Okay, yeah. So I think it's going to be this week from the 25th to the 30th. I'd say 3-2.
I was going to say 4-1.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to say they're going to sweep the A's and then they're going to lose 1 to the Padres.
Yeah, I think you're going to split with the A's and lose 1 to the Padres as well.
Okay.
There's not a game on the 1st of July, is there? Against the Padres? That's not like a weird Friday to Monday series.
I don't know.
I doubt it. I'm looking at the sidebar schedule and it does not go to July.
That's what I'm looking at too. So,
let me double check. No, we don't even play on the 1st of July. It's another day off, and then we go to Seattle.
Cool.
Okay. So you say 4-1. I say 3-2. So we'll see.
Okay.
All right, let's move on now to Reddit feedback and questions. First of all, we had a lot of positive feedback on the first episode. Very glad. I don't want to go through everybody who commented on, said they liked it and they're excited for more, but thank you everybody for the positive feedback. We really appreciate it. Once we're actually on iTunes and stuff, we'll ask you to drop iTunes reviews and stuff like that. But for now, thanks for the positive feedback. We're glad you enjoy the show. I guess the first thing, do you want to do the name thing first or last?
I was going to say let's do name first.
Okay, name first. So at the end of last episode, we asked you guys in the discussion thread to help us come up with a name for the show. We had a lot of good suggestions and some less good suggestions. Let me pull those up because I actually closed that tab.
Give me 5 seconds. 5 seconds while you pull it up.
Oh yeah, I got it. I think "Turn Me On, Edmund" was a suggestion from JCMHS. Which, all right. One thing, we didn't want it to be stale already, and we didn't want it to get stale right away. So stuff like Classic Oda Podcast, which Matthew Quigley suggested. I think not a terrible name, but it's already kind of a stale reference. We already mentioned it actually, not on the episode, but before we recorded last week. I liked it. I thought about doing when we thought about doing the show 2 years ago. We considered doing that, but it's something that I'm like, yeah, I was constantly concerned about something falling apart. And if we do this for 10 years, then in 10 years, why the hell are you called Classic Oda Podcast? Oh, well, you see, there was a weird interview at Busch Stadium.
There were drugs in the bathroom.
Drugs in the bathroom. The late, great Jim Hayes. Wait, I'm just assuming Jim Hayes is going to be dead in 10 years.
How dare you?
Jim Hayes, I'm kidding. Please come on the show. Jonath the Jonath
sponsor us. Jim Hayes.
Jim Hayes, please sponsor us. Jonath the Jonath also suggested the weekly salad, which I believe you also mentioned you wanted salad in there. But again, I just felt like it's too like inside jokey.
It's inside jokey.
And
so
then
I understand that.
Hopefully, we were hoping that people will also discover the show. Through natural, like through iTunes and stuff like that, and maybe join us on the subreddit, which if somehow you did find the show through iTunes or something, and you'd like to join us on the subreddit, it is reddit.com/r/cardinals, and that is where we have all the discussion for the threads. But we had a lot of suggestions, specifically from Arch Deluxe, including Shooting the Shilt, Arch Deluxe Podcast, Carving Up McCarver, the only St. Louis sports podcast not sponsored by the Home Loan Expert.
Which, first of all, please sponsor us.
Yeah, not yet. Not sponsored by the Home Loan Expert yet. And Between Two Birds. Again, with those, like, Home Loan Expert, a couple of those obviously jokes. Home Loan Expert 1, Arch Deluxe Podcast. Shooting the Shilt, again, something that if we're doing it in 10 years and Mike Schilt isn't with the organization in 10 years, becomes weird. Carving Up McCarver, same thing. He's probably going to be dead in 10 years too. But I like Between Two Birds.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the one we've slowly but surely have come to agree upon. So
JG makes a good point. We should just call it regional cable journalism.
We should though.
We shouldn't though. But I a part of me wants to. Maybe when we have Jim Hayes as a guest on our show, we'll call that episode regional cable journalism.
I was gonna say, we had this discussion about how, like, do we want to do number episodes? Do we want to have a title? If we don't title that episode regional cable journalism,
it's got to be. If and when we get Jim Hayes on the show, it's got to be titled regional cable journalism.
We've done it wrong.
We failed. We failed as podcasters. Yeah.
We gotta quit.
But yeah, so I think thank you to Arch_Deluxe on r/Cardinals for coming up with, and if you are watching live, you're about to see the dopest fade transition as we change our name.
Hold. Okay, go.
To Between Two Birds with Kuhan and Hack. This is also not going to be the final artwork, but for now, until we get some super dope artwork. Did you see the transition? Did it work?
Mm-hmm,
okay, cool. We're going to change the artwork eventually, but for now, Between Two Birds with Kuhan and Hack. So thank you to Arch_Deluxe. E is for Eccentric points out we'll settle for Jeremiah Johnson too. Look, I don't think we can get Jeremiah Johnson on the podcast, because if we do, I'm going to spend the whole time talking about the Pacers, not the Cardinals, and that's a problem. This is a Cardinals show. Maybe in the offseason, I'll try to get Jeremiah Johnson and just be like, look, I know it's the Cardinals show, but we're talking about the Pacers today. So if you're not a basketball fan, don't listen.
I'll just sit awkwardly in the corner.
Yeah, right. Like, well, what do you think about the Suns, Jeremiah?
So go, baby.
That does actually remind me of. I talked a little last week about the Cardinals 2011 World Series win. That reminded me of another story on campus at Mizzou, where I was walking around in my like 1990s Reggie Miller jersey, and I'm just walking again to like a friend's dorm or whatever, and somebody passes by me in a 1990s Charles Barkley Suns jersey. And I was like, this is like, what's happening right now? Why are we both wearing 1990s basketball jerseys? Like, it's just like it's 2011, and we're both wearing like these retro-ass jerseys. It was a very surreal moment.
All right.
Do
we want to get
time to move
Reddit
on now to all the Reddit questions. We We didn't get a whole lot in the discussion thread about the episode, but we did get a bunch in today's daily discussion thread. Hack, did you get a lot of responses about non-Cardinal stuff in your post?
Yeah, I was gonna say, which ones do you want to do first?
I want to start with yours. Yeah, because I hope they're sillier.
They are.
How many did you get?
Give me 1 sec. Let me scroll down. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 7, but one of them is from Arch Deluxe and 4 or 5 in his comment. So
right. Well, let's do one at one. So you go first.
Back and forth.
Yeah, okay. Some of the even Cardinals ones are pretty silly, so we might just quickly do with those. But yeah, go ahead.
First one's favorite non-Cardinal.
Favorite non-Cardinal. This used to be super easy because it was Ben Zobrist, but he's a Cub now, so it's not Ben Zobrist. Do you have one? Let's assume no former Cardinals, because I feel like that's cheating.
Yeah. Dustin Pedroia.
Okay, I should have guessed.
Do you want to know the story why you think about yours?
I mean, I assume ASU, and then
it's very short, but so when he first arrived on campus, Ian Kinsler was the starting shortstop at ASU. And he showed up on campus and he walked into Pat Murphy's office, who was the head coach at the time. And Pat Murphy didn't recruit Dustin Pedroia. And he walked in, Pat Murphy said, "Who are you?" He goes, "I'm your new starting shortstop." And he goes, No, you're not. Like, Kinsler's my starting shortstop. And he goes, "No, I'm your new starting shortstop." And that was in the fall. And then in the spring, Pat Murphy made him starting shortstop. And then Ian Kinsler transferred. That year he transferred to Mizzou.
Oh, that's so funny. I remember the first part of that story. Like when you were telling me, like, oh yeah, I know this story. And then once you get the transfer part, I was like, oh, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, Ian Kinsler transferred to Mizzou because of Dustin Pedroia.
That's so good. This is still really tough. I like Jose Altuve a lot. Max Scherzer is like the bomb nuts. The only player I own a jersey for who is not a Cardinal is Josh Fegley, but that's only because Josh Fegley on his Players Weekend jersey, which they got to wear nicknames for, his player was PTBNL. And I'm like, that's perfect. Yeah. It's an Oakland Athletics jersey. It doesn't have a name on the back. It has PTBNL on the back. This is great. Like, I can wear this forever.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Man. Yeah, You know what? Fuck. I'm going to go Fernando Tatis Jr. I don't think it's a great answer. I don't think it's the best answer. Here's the thing. He's what's that?
It's not a good answer. You have such a better answer than that.
I'm sure I have a better answer than that, but but the thing is, Kike Hernandez is somebody I like a lot. I really like players who like play lots of positions. Which is why I like Ben Zobrist a lot. Like somebody who can play lots of positions, but play them all like well and like be a solid, valuable player at every position. Yeah. And there's not a whole ton of those right now outside of the Cubs. And I'm not going to pick a Cub. Like that's just a fact.
It's a good way to get
maybe. But
I was gonna say it's a good way to get people to unsubscribe from.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's no way. Like I liked Brock Holt, but Brock Holt kind of sucks. And doesn't play very much either, so like it's really very difficult.
So it's tough
to pick one right now at this moment.
Yeah, I got you.
But I'm really excited about Tatis Jr. He
is really fun. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. Like he's the real deal. Like defense, offense. Oh, you know what? Because like really good defenders. So Andrelton Simmons' defensive highlights are so fun to watch.
Yeah.
So that's my not really an answer. I wish I had a better answer. It's just like everybody who's been at the top of that list for non-Cardinals is like slipping. So it's
well, mine's super biased, so I can't judge you.
No, but like that's fine. Like you have an answer. I don't care how biased it is. I knew it was like obviously it's gonna be an ASU guy, but like that's fine. Like it's at least an answer. I feel like I'm flip flopping to 6 different guys. All right, let's see a real ish question. Okay, so yeah, Beans of the Bone Age, and a couple other people asked this across the thread. With the trade deadline approaching, who should the Cards look to buy and sell?
Ugh.
So we talked a little bit earlier about maybe shoring up the bullpen with Doolittle, Diaz, that kind of thing. And I certainly think guys like that are available or going to be available. I don't know who the Mariners' current closer is, but they're certainly selling everything off.
Yeah. So my sell, I'm not sure who on the buy. I think my wish list is Marcus Stroman on the buy side of things. Mm-hmm. And that's hoping everything's in good shape and they need a starter still.
Do you think the Cardinals should try to buy Mike Leake back?
No, I absolutely not. I don't think so. I hate to say. I hate to say. I love Mike Leake so much.
Sure.
But absolutely not. They're not getting him back.
He's been pretty decent this year. Only has 1 year left on the contract before the mutual option. And the Mariners are selling. I'm just saying. I think the two options are Marcus Stroman and Zach Greinke. I think those are the two options there. The sell is, I hear the alarm, by the way. Yeah, I saw it. That was my watch. A completely separate alarm.
Okay. The sell is 1000% John Gant.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think John Gant
he's the most valuable one.
He's playing way above his skill level. I don't think John Gant is the pitcher that he's been, and nope. I could certainly see a different contending team wanting him for his So I
for what he is,
that. Although John Gant could also play out the season as a Cardinal and then next year get stretched back out into a starter.
Yeah,
because he's also a capable starter.
And either way, he works out fantastic. But yeah. I think he is the one that actually adds the when an opposing team is looking at him, that he's the one that has the most value to them.
My God, is every single pitcher on is every single player on the Mariners injured? There's like 12 injuries on this list. That's
I thought you were gonna say it's every single player on the Mariners the next Cardinal, and I was gonna say yes.
That's not that far from the truth. Sam Tuivailala.
Oh, it is. It is half the roster.
Marco Gonzalez. Should we try to get Marco back? God, the Mariners pitching has been bad. I don't want any of these people. Ronis Elias, by the way, is their current closer, and he could certainly be on the move, not in the not too distant future.
Don't want him. Don't want him.
Do you think we should be trying to get relief help?
I don't think the bullpen is the problem. I think anything
is the problem. So okay, so you think the number one problem is starting pitching, right?
Yes.
Which I agree with, but do you? Maybe I'm just being a little reactionary with the Hicks injury, but there's been other issues in the bullpen aside from the Hicks injury that it wouldn't hurt to get one or two bullpen pieces to shore up the bullpen, which is something that John Mozeliak has been known to do, in
2011. In 2011, that was his thing. That we're going to shore up the bullpen. We're going to figure out. I don't disagree with you.
That's what we usually see is somebody in the bullpen or like a starter who can sort of be like a sort of swing man, like Justin Masterson or Jake Westbrook or something like that.
I think if anything happens, it's going to be that kind of thing. But I don't. That's not what I want.
Right. Do you think we should get an impact bat or?
I don't know. I don't think the offense is the problem.
I don't think it's. You don't necessarily need to be solving the biggest problem with a move. Sometimes.
I don't think the starting. I think the starting pitching is the weakest portion of the team.
All right.
I could be wrong, and everyone's talk shit about me, but that's fine. But I don't think the offense is the problem. I think the starting pitching is the problem.
All right. I agree with that. But I also wouldn't say no to.
I wouldn't either.
Merrifield,
I would not either.
Yeah. All right.
You ready
for another silly one?
Yeah. It's still baseball related.
Sure.
We'll do this one really quick, and I think we should just do yes or no on this one, and then
Okay.
we'll go to the next one because
Sure.
the next one's really good. Pete Alonso, will he break the rookie home run record?
No.
I also say no.
Who is
All
it?
right.
Is it Bellinger right now, or is it McGuire still?
Ooh, I don't know.
Or is it somebody else?
Look it up. Or I'll look it up while I ask you the next.
It's Judge. It's Judge with 52, and McGuire had 49.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see. Okay, so here's. I'm gonna read this out loud. We don't have to answer it because it's a silly but still Cardinals related. Columbus +1, is the mere concept of Jordan Hicks sustainable at all? I'll hang up and listen. Look, it's the human body was not meant to pitch, let alone pitch 104 miles an hour. Cardinals base running asks, thoughts on the reports that we nearly had a Will Smith for Joe Mart trade before the Cards backed away. This is Will Smith of the Giants, not to be confused with Will Smith of the Dodgers.
I don't have any thoughts. I think that we would have been. Honestly, I'm glad that we still have Jose Martinez.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
I think he is more valuable than Will Smith is. Not for any reason other than he's been consistent.
I'd rather have a strong bench bat than a good reliever.
Yep.
So.
All right. Which is the better National Treasure? National Treasure 1 or National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets?
I guess I should minimize this one in my queue as well. National Treasure 1, hands down. That's a
yes, 1,000%.
It's a silly question. The second one was, I think, was bad. But
Matthew Quigley, focus up.
I also look. I like the National Treasure movies, and I almost bought them on Blu-ray a couple months ago. I have a lot of Blu-rays, so it's not like I was gonna let me get my first Blu-ray purchase, National Treasure. But
that's what I would. First of all, that's the first thing I would have bought. So
National Treasure. No, I think the first thing I bought was the Fast and Furious collection on Blu-ray. Come on, this is not a joke. I believe that was actually my first Blu-ray that I purchased.
Identity theft is not a joke, Jim.
What's that?
Identity theft is not a joke, Jim.
So I very much enjoy the National Treasure movies. They're very fun movies. First one is clearly better than the second one. But I would very much like to see a third one. So
isn't there a third one?
No, National Treasure 1, National Treasure 2. There was no third.
I thought there was a third one.
Nope.
Shit.
Nope, we can make it happen. Nicolas Cage, are you listening?
Hell, Nicolas Cage, sponsor us.
Sponsor us, Nicolas Cage. All right. Chronic Flozeliak asks, are there any players from trades or otherwise in the last 7 or let's say 8 years that we let go you wish we could have back and could return to us as old friends do, and upon seeing each other for the first time in a long time will smile at each other, the smile of knowing a person for who they truly are and for valuing that person and reciprocally feeling valued oneself as well?
Just Mike Leake.
I was going to say John Jay.
John Jay. John Jay's a better answer.
You know what? Because I realized, like, near the top of the season, the whole Memphis Mafia is gone. Like, it was Craig and Jay and Descalso and, like, Lance Lynn.
Yeah,
I guess Matt Carpenter was kind of Memphis Mafia. He's still here, but, like, all those guys are gone. Like, that was sad to realize that, like, I've been an adult and following baseball for long enough for players who were, like, in AAA together to be gone now. Yeah. such a weird feeling. I would love,
especially with the picture of the rings when they like him, Alan Craig, and like
Alan Craig, who I believe is in the front office for the Padres now. Like, that's where his career has ended up.
Yikes.
Like, just sad all around. I think my real answer, excluding Albert Pujols, who I would not want to see on the team actually, because it just doesn't make any sense to have him on the Cardinals.
Well, now that Goldschmidt's here, yeah. So,
well, for many reasons. Even if Goldschmidt wasn't here, I'd rather have Matt Carpenter first base than Albert Pujols. Do we have a third baseman? I mean,
Jerko.
No, I mean, do we have like a third baseman who's left the team, who's on another team right now? But I can't think of one. Freese. David Freese.
Yeah, David Freese.
You know what? I think that's actually not a bad answer. It's David Freese.
Not,
I would love to see. I would love to see David Freese come back to the Cardinals, and he would not want to come back to the Cardinals, and I understand that because it's too much pressure. Which
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's it caused problems for him in St. Louis. So I get it, but it would be beautiful to have David Freese back, and again, the smile of knowing. That's 100%.
I think he's a one-day contract kind of guy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think he will be. Yeah. I think he will be, but it's certainly something that I think is unlikely to happen in his playing career again. Maybe for like his last season, he'll come back for like a season. But I think most likely he's a one-day contract kind of guy. But I think David Freese. There's such love for David Freese in the city, and that's the problem. There's too much love for David Freese, and he can't handle it. Which I don't blame him. Like that's the pressure of being a hometown hero. Like that's tough.
We'll see how Pat Maroon handles it.
Well, and I was thinking the exact same thing, but baseball is such more of an individual sport in a way that like everything's on your shoulders, whereas with hockey, like it's not all on your shoulders all the time, but like in a single at bat, everything is on your shoulders, So.
Yeah, that's true. All right, ready for the next one?
Go ahead.
Best Pop-Tart flavor.
I have a big ass box of strawberry Pop-Tarts in my trunk. Strawberry frosted. Not the plain strawberry. That's terrible. I don't think it's the flavor that I like to eat the best. I think it's one of the chocolatey ones, like chocolate fudge or whatever. But S'mores. Is this your third beer during the show?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But the strawberry frost, like those, like stay in your mouth in a weird way, and the strawberry frosted goes down a lot easier. So, I'd say the flavor that I like eating, like I would eat the chocolate fudge as dessert, but the strawberry frosted is better as breakfast.
Stu and I both disagree with you.
That's fair. I've heard that same opinion. What was yours?
Brown sugar cinnamon. Brown sugar and cinnamon.
Brown sugar cinnamon. I don't think I've had it, but also I would not. I don't think I'd like it.
So good.
Otter in Austin asks, now that Mags is in another division and not even a major leaguer anymore, Hicks is dead, and Bader is streaky at best, my question is, why should I bother to continue living?
To watch me just be sad all the time.
The answer is, did you see that fucking Colton Wong play on Sunday? Oh yeah, my God.
That's a good point.
I would live for Colton Wong highlights. Like that is the answer.
That is the video game level play.
My God, you couldn't do that in a video game. That was beautiful. Oh my Lord. I still go back sometimes and watch that Colton Wong highlight from last year. I think it was against the Dodgers, where he like makes this dive deep in the hole, and I'm like, Colton, don't throw it. Hold that in your pocket. You saved the double. Don't throw it. And he throws the ball and gets the out. And Matt Carpenter like just like pumps his fist like, hell yeah, we got it. And Colton just like nods because like, yeah, we got it. The horizontal.
Yeah, the horizontal.
Oh, so good. Like, yeah, he's not planted. He just makes the throw. It's like, Colton, don't make the throw. And he makes the throw, and it makes it. Oh, Colton Wong highlight. I live for Colton Wong highlights. Next question.
Okay. Yeah. Next question. Otter, stay alive, please. We appreciate you. You
are loved.
You are loved. Thank you for going to Torchy's Tacos with me. So this is going to be Arch Deluxe. He's got about a couple, 4 or 5.
I got no more real questions. They're all silly. So
want to do rapid fire on Arch Deluxe?
Let's do them.
He's named the podcast here.
Yes, absolutely.
Potential name for St. Louis MLS.
I think it's gonna be STLFC.
Yeah, me too.
I'd like to see something else. I'm terrible at naming like that, but I think it's gonna literally move the team from the what is it? USSL?
USL.
Is it USL now?
Yeah, just USL. Yeah.
It used to be USSL, I think. But anyway, I think it's definitely going to be the STLFC. But I don't like that trend. But I think it's.
I don't either. I do like I just want them to keep the fleur de lis as the logo. I think that's key. I don't think the name is important. But I think that's key, and I think they'll end up keeping the colors, the green and blue.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Just as a kind of an homage. The next question is: does anyone?
By the way, I'm very excited to buy official merch when they become an MLS team. They have some cool official merch right now, but it'll be better when they're MLS. So I'm very excited to buy a New Era 5950 from STLFC.
Oh yeah, me too. All right. Does anyone actually enjoy pizza with Provel? I can personally say yes. It does not agree with me a lot, but I do enjoy it. So.
I was in St. Louis like a week and a half ago now for the parade, and the one thing I had to do on my way out was to buy a medium Emo's pizza, and I ate it while I was driving. It's the best.
It's like I said, it does not agree with my stomach, but I do enjoy it. Thoughts about trenching downtown St. Louis from the riverfront to turn it into the Venice of the Midwest? Personally, I don't see why we have not done that already.
That's an interesting concept. I think it'd be cool, but I don't think it would work, especially with city planning. But I think St. Louis is in prime position to be the Portland of the Midwest, and I think that's going to happen sooner than later. I think it's already well on its way to be like a hipster capital of the Midwest. Like we are.
You think city and county can't agree on something? Well, let's talk about trenching downtown.
well, I don't think county has a say in that.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
I'm sure they'll try. Look, I'm from the county, and I think county does some stupid ass shit.
They'll try to have a say.
For example, living in the county, I used to live in the city, work in the county. Very upset that the county was like, no, we don't want public transportation out here because blah 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 blah. Thieves makes no sense. Go fuck yourself, county of St. Louis County. But anyway, next question.
Shows that went too long but deserved an extra season.
Oh, do you have a good one?
No, I don't. I have no good ones.
Shit.
All you.
Scrubs. I think Scrubs went too long. 9th season didn't need to exist. However, I think it deserved to have another season with those guys to sort of, come into their own and be basically actually be a spinoff instead of trying to be more Scrubs.
I think the only one that I've got is How I Met Your Mother, but that's only because I think
deserved a whole season with Ted and the mother instead of
yeah, exactly. It had that. Yeah, it had nothing to do with the rest of it. It's just because the mother character was so.
I also think the show went a little too long too, because it
did.
I just rewatched that whole show and it's like, yeah, this could have done with it one or two fewer seasons.
But the mother character was so good that I think that she deserved a little bit of time.
Again, 10 seconds here. When do you ever build up to a character that much through 8 seasons, cast somebody who's barely known, and knock it out of the park? That's insane. That doesn't happen. You can't do that.
And then did nothing with it.
And then, they did stuff with her. She was great in the limited
one season.
The limited time she had in that one season. But like they spent the entire show building up to her, and you cannot match that expectation. And she did. So good for you, Kristen Milioti. Awesome. And I wish you were able to get better work than you are post that show.
All right, next question. If MLB should expand, where to?
Tampa, Florida.
Fair enough. I'm saying Nashville.
I think Nashville's a good.
Nashville
choice.
Or Charlotte are my two.
Yeah, Nashville and Charlotte are both good. I think
Portland. I love you. Portland. I love you so much, but nope. Fuck you.
I think Vancouver.
Yeah.
Vancouver, and I don't know what the other one would be, but assuming the Rays don't move to Montreal, Vancouver, and Montreal, because they're again not crazy distances from other teams in their own divisions, what they would be, but because you know what, also Mexico's tough, but
it'd be cool.
That would be cool and interesting. Or Puerto Rico would be cool as well.
All right, what's your favorite type of curry?
That's
I don't know.
That's racist.
I've never had curry, so I don't know. It's just one of the ones on here.
The kind of curry that I eat is not the kind of curry that other people think of as curry.
First of all, and now I'm a racist. 2 episodes in, racist.
That's true. You know what? It happened.
Flipping tables. Let's profanity. Fuck you.
Pakistani curry is called karai, and like the salad and stuff like that, and it's not really, it's people would call it curry, but it's not really what you think of as curry. But if you're asking what my favorite salad is, it's aloo gosht, which is mutton and potatoes, and I will eat the shit out of some aloo gosht, but it's not really the same kind of question as he's asking. But suck it, that's the only kind of curry I eat.
Hack is a racist. Episode 2.
Episode 2. Hack is a racist. Wow, that's.
All right. That's not the title. That's not the title. Not make that title.
Please don't make that the title.
We've got one last question. It's not racist, I promised. I promise. Would you rather fight one Pete Cosma-sized duck or 100 duck-sized Pete Cosmas? And this is an easy question, and I'm going to let you answer it first, because if you're wrong, I'm going to judge you severely.
I would say one Pete Cosma-sized duck, because
no!
I think because I think 100 duck-sized Cosma's scrappy as hell, man. Like, those things will kick your ass.
Wrong.
No. Look, 100 is a lot. That's a lot of them, and they're coordinated, and they're all like, they're humans.
No,
they would wreck you. They would.
You're so wrong.
They would go up your ass like Ant-Man and Thanos.
You're so wrong. That made me laugh. So wrong. It is literally just you. All you have to do is punt. Just kick the shit. Just place kick people.
That's fine if there's like 4 or 5, but 100 of them. At some point, they're gonna come around you and they're gonna crawl up your back and right up your ass.
You can hit 5. You can hit 5 at least with just.
But there's first of all, have you seen a duck recently?
That's not the point. I know what size a duck is.
You cannot hit a duck with your. You cannot have 5 ducks with your foot.
Oh, you underestimate me.
No, I don't. I literally had to stop for ducks in the street like 2 hours ago. There's no way. There is no way.
I promise you, 100 duck-sized Pete Cosma.
Stu Doggery wants to know when my next single's coming out after Rosie Time. First of all, I had a couple in between there. They were not as big of hits, apparently. We just walk it off regularly during walk-offs for like 3 seasons ago. Anyway, I keep meaning to do one of those once a year, and I keep like not. But hopefully, maybe I'll finally put out my cover of Gloria, which I meant to do like a week and a half ago.
Hell yeah!
All right. Well, now that Hack is confirmed racist, if you'd like to be the new co-host on this show, you can find everything on reddit.com/r/cardinals. That's where this episode will be posted, and all the discussion will be in that thread. I think we still ended up going like an hour and a half this week. After
we did awful.
After specifically saying we're going to try to be shorter, we did not. If you'd like to follow us on Twitter, I am at Kuhan. Hack, the co-host for now, is at HackMuff.
At racist.com.
At racist.com. At racist hack, which we're not going to register. Please don't register at racist hack. This show does not have a Twitter yet. The website right for now again is still imkuhan.com/cardinals, which all the episodes will be posted there, and you can subscribe to that feed. But also the subscription link is also going to be on the Reddit thread, so you can subscribe from there too. And I think that is it.
Yep.
So once again, the accounts and descriptions of this show may be disseminated with our express verbal consent. # disseminate this podcast.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues. So we'll probably ask people as we get closer to it, but I'm trying to consider what to do in the off season. Like,
I have no idea.
Is it gonna? Are we gonna take a season break? Is it gonna be like once a month? Do we just become a blues podcast?
I think we should do either blues podcast or once a month.
Yeah,
and we could also do blues podcast once a month.
That's true. It could be once a month blues, like every other week, and one week is Blues and 1 week is Cardinals.
Yeah.
It's an
Also,
concept.
Also, sorry if that was very racist.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Okay.
It's first of all, it's not racist if there's no racist intent. Like you weren't even thinking about that when you said it, and I don't think Archdeluxe was thinking about that when he asked it. So like, I don't care.
Okay, I'm just making sure because I felt bad. So.
No. I was totally just fucking with you.
I didn't want to be a dick, and you can fuck with me all you want. I don't care, but I just didn't want to be a dick. So.
No. Yeah, you're good. By the way, I also am very excited to actually try to get Jeremiah Johnson on the podcast and just talk about the Pacers.
Oh no, so I don't know if you pay attention to the Barstool Sports of the world, where the Red Sox podcast on there changed to a Suns podcast because the Red Sox sucked in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I will 1000% just become a Pacers guy for no reason. And I will fully commit to that character.
Yeah.
I'll be excited about it. I'll be like, let's go. we're gonna complete, especially if at the time the Cardinals are struggling or they're about to get eliminated, and this is when we're starting our Pacers shit. And I'll be like, all right, I'm a Pacers guy. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of the Cardinals.
It's again, we talked a little bit about this in the first episode, but like it's funny how like little of a sports fan I was in high school and how much of a sports fan I am now. And I wonder how much of it is like just, time and whatever. How much of it is that the Cardinals like won the World Series right at the right time for me to become a big sports fan, and how much of it is I moved away from St. Louis and like, fuck, St. Louis is, like I'm going ham for St. Louis, but like also Pacers aren't St. Louis, but basketball used to be my number one sport. Like when I was 10 or 12, like we had NBA 2K3, like I knew all the basketball players. I was a big basketball fan. Much less so now, but I used to be a huge basketball fan. I played the shit out of NBA 2K3.
2K is such an awesome game, but because I don't follow the NBA enough, I feel like I can't appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because I played quite a bit of 2K17, which I only bought because Paul George was on the cover, and I almost bought NHL 18 or whatever because Tarasenko was on the cover.
Yeah,
but I just bought 2K19 because it was like a super duper PlayStation sale for an NBA 2K and NHL 19.
It was like $10. Yeah,
no, it was like $3.
Yeah,
like it was stupid cheap. Like it was almost irresponsible to not buy it. Swearsman asked why we're doing this at 12:30. We're not doing this at 12:30. We're done. Now we're just shooting the shit. Yeah.
I didn't know we were still on YouTube.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't talk shit on anybody yet.
Not yet.
So now you know. So now if you talk shit, like it's on purpose.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people try to talk shit about so just shock tick about.
I certainly have people to talk shit about, but I'm not gonna do it.
That's your problem, not mine. Oh boy.
Sorry, that's what I get for being a borderline insomniac.
It is what he is.
I know I do have the setup to do like live call-ins, so that might be something we do at some point in the future.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
let's do that, and also voicemails. Like let's
voicemail is something that we can definitely do. Because that's what I was thinking about doing that as well today, and I was like, there's not enough time to get that all set up real quick. But
we should do that like when we post this episode. So I'll get this one done as quick as I can. And as we post this one, be like, hey, leave voicemails.
Yeah.
And we should, because I think we could throw that into the middle of it. I think it'd be pretty funny, because then we might get some random ass shit.
Well, I mean, obviously we'll pre-screen them, but yeah, there's also stuff because there can be the question stuff, and it can, if something comes up that like makes sense to talk about earlier. Like, hey, I have this question about the A's series. Okay, great. Let's talk about while we talk about the A's series.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we can do some stuff with that. I meant to actually look at timers and stuff, and I did not really. I forgot to hit go on the timer a couple times because that alarm was my watch that always goes off at midnight. But I just had a stopwatch just to like have an idea.
I was gonna say I think we went like 2 hours.
No, we definitely didn't go 2 hours, but it was like an hour and a half, hour 45 again.
I was gonna say I thought it felt like we started at like 8:30 and then we're in.
That's when we started the call, I think, but we didn't start actually doing anything until like 15, 20 minutes after that. So.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be the one thing that we really need to like try to stick ourselves to.
I agree, and I think like I said, I should. Oh hey, I can make you a moderator of the chat. Now you're a moderator for my channel. Look at that, you're a modded right away here.
Just modding away. Let's go.
Yeah, Swordsman says stream itself has been running for an hour 44. So
could be worse.
Yeah, no, and that's like 15 minutes of stuff at the beginning, like 10 minutes of stuff at the beginning, and now like probably 10 minutes at the end here. So it's probably an hour 30-ish, an hour 25 maybe. So I think that's better than last week. We should be down to an hour.
It's good, but we could do shorter. We could do better.
Yeah. So. I think ideally. So because I had set out like 20-ish, but I wasn't thinking about how long questions would end up taking. And it'll probably be less the following couple of weeks, and we might, not want to have every single question next week. But I think probably, if there's a topic at the top, 10 minutes at the top, 15 for each series, 15, maybe 10 to 15 for previews, and then 10 for questions or so.
Yep.
And that gets us to right about an hour 10.
Yeah. I think an hour is just right about the right time. So
I agree. I think we can like go a little over an hour here and there, but like right around an hour. No more than like an hour 15. I think should be our goal.
Is it E centric? Is the one still in the chat?
Swordsman is in the chat.
Oh, Swordsman.
Who by the way, just showed up at the end.
Swordsman is an hour too long. Just let us know.
He also says, talk about flags, nerds. So, again, St. Louis Civic Pride, which is funny how much St. Louis Civic Pride you have for never having lived in St. Louis.
Yeah. The flag's sick. That's the best flag.
That's what I'm saying. Like I live in Chicago, and I see the Chicago flag so much that I am inoculated of the Chicago flag. I forget it's the Chicago flag.
Chicago flag sucks.
It's fine. It's a fine flag.
It's a fine flag.
Yeah. But it's not bad. It's not. But like people think it's so great. It's whatever. It's good. Nah. It is good. Like it's a good flag.
It's a good flag. It's not a great flag.
But like that, I see that shit everywhere on everything. I did see your Blues as steel flag mock-up, Swordsman. Liz, are you the one who bought the flag, right? I could be mistaken, but somebody bought a flag of that, and I thought it was you. Hold on, let me just say, yes.
I closed it, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Swordsman.
Sorry, I was just saying in the.
No.
Yes, he's the one. So now he's. So it's not. Oh, so it's not Swordsman. What are you now? I didn't realize it was a different account. Because this is the thing I'm so used to. Swordsman says Chicago flag is dope. TBH. It's a good flag. It's a solid. It's a very memorable flag.
I agree. It's a good flag, but I don't think it's as good as the St. Louis flag.
But yeah, I'm just like I love I love the St. Louis flag, and it doesn't get anywhere near enough respect.
Because the whole like rivers coming together thing with the fleur-de-lis, it's just awesome.
And it's a nice like simple like replicable flag. Look, let's just talk about the 99% Invisible episode. We're all thinking it. So like
you are, I don't know.
Me and Swordsman are thinking it. Oh, Captain Giraffe. Oh, I didn't. You know what? I forgot that was the same person. I think I knew that at some point. So many of y'all change your account names, and I'm like, are you new, or like, were you here before? Oh, you said you're here before. Who are you now? Who are you, Ben?
The other thing too is, okay, the people who we want to have as guests, we need to figure that part out too, because I think we need to have like specific reasons to have them on. Otherwise, we'll just have like kind of random ass shit.
Sure.
Sportsman, we're bringing you on to talk about flags. You're awesome.
to talk about what flags? It's a baseball podcast.
We're talking about flags. That's what we're doing.
Well, so I recognize Captain Giraffe as a person and a regular, and I also like that person. I just forgot that was two different people, Swordsman and Captain Giraffe. Like, I didn't realize that was the same person. Like, in my head, it's just two different people who I like both of. So it's fine.
We're gonna have a whole episode about flags.
It's like there's definitely a user who will remain nameless who
oh shit.
You know who I'm talking about because we talked about him in the mod chat. Who, like, I remember, like, I disliked. Oh, we talked about him in the pre-show last week too. I disliked and then forgot about him. Then he came back with a new account, which may or may not have been nautical themed. And then I was like, oh, this guy seems reasonable. And then he did something else. Then I'm like, oh, I don't like this guy. And then he deleted that account, and eventually he'll come back. We'll see.
You're broadcasting on YouTube, by the way.
I know. That's why if we weren't, then I wouldn't have. Then I would have just said it out loud instead of dropping not so subtle hints.
Your problem, not mine, Kuhan.
But whatever. He's a dick. Some people are dicks. There's other dicks on the sub that I'm not gonna specifically name by name, but you know.
One of them is Return of the Hack. It's okay.
Yeah. Return of the Hack. Tyler 4693. That's what she said. Go Somali Pirates, who was supposed to be on tonight.
I love that I could just pause and just like, all right, you're good. You're good. There's a silence here for a reason.
Obviously, we all know the people I'm naming are people who we do not hate. JG, by the way, who are you? Because JG is also still in the chat, and I'm not sure who that is.
Oh, jeez, I don't want
to know. Echoes 13.
No. I was gonna say I remember that. Return of the Dick.
Return of the Dick. Am I right, guys? Yeah. Sources to see Kevin again on the podcast. Yeah. No. I was gonna say. I really do like flags, and I used to watch that 99% Invisible like every couple of weeks because it's such a good 99%, like it's such a good TED Talk. Yeah, I think St. Louis flag doesn't get enough respect. There's other good flags in the country, but I feel like it's like top 10 at least, and it doesn't get in that conversation. I feel like it's like top 5 minimum.
You want to see the most average flag of all time?
Sure, but I would bet you it's bad.
Look up Phoenix's.
Phoenix
flag. City flag is the most average shit ever. It sucks. It's the worst flag. The logo is cool. Yeah. The logo is cool, but the flag sucks.
I think the issue with the logo, as Swordsman will agree, yes, it's so corporate. It's a logo, right? It's not easily replicable. Yeah, it's just a logo.
It's bad. It's just bad. The logo itself.
That color is terrible.
The maroon, yeah.
Like, what a bad color.
They tried so hard, but they didn't try at all. They were so close to being a good flag, and it sucked. When I was doing my, yep, 100%.
Sources. No.
I'm just reading. It's like no.
I can see
maroon and white is so bad.
I can see needing another color to balance it. Like when I googled it, there's something that's got like it's the same thing but with like a couple of stripes down the middle, like down the center on the like horizontal stripes. And it's interesting.
I don't think you need that. I just think if you had an outline of a color around the logo, it would be 1,000 times better.
Well, here I'll post it.
Oof, my high school was maroon and white.
This one, like this redesign, I think is interesting because at least it has something else. I don't know if this represents anything, but like it breaks up.
Yeah, that's better.
It breaks up just a sea. It's just a sea of maroon, and it breaks that up, and I like that. I feel like it's not even maroon. It looks like a plum. Like it's just bad. ESPN Eccentric, are you just way behind, or are you asking a question from way behind? Because yes, basketball was my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court. I kept it so fresh on the microphone. I like no interruption when the game is on. I like slam dunks. You take me to the hoop. My favorite play is the alley-oop. I like the pick and roll. I like the give and go. It's basketball. Bow wow. Let's go.
That was a reference I didn't get.
That's the lyrics to the song Basketball from the film Like Mike.
Okay.
I think he might just be way behind.
I don't know.
Swear out, I never know that song.
I've seen that movie.
I loved that movie as a kid. That was
I've never seen that movie.
Again, I liked basketball a lot as a kid, so I love that movie. I didn't watch any of like the baseball movies as a kid, until like later. Like I didn't watch The Sandlot until I want to say like 8th grade, and even that was only because like we had I think at the end of the year in band class, like it was just a free day. Hey, go out and play. You're sitting here to watch a movie or whatever, and the movie we were sitting there to watch was Sandlot, so I watched The Sandlot.
Basketball. I've seen it once or twice, but every time in college or drunk or something.
Yeah,
I haven't.
I've never seen basketball. Moneyball I own on Blu-ray.
Moneyball and Miracle I watch like religiously. It's ridiculous.
Well, I also like love Aaron Sorkin, who wrote Moneyball, so it's like a win-win.
There you go.
Are there other baseball movies that I own? Well, I also do own.
Dodgeball is the greatest sports film of our generation.
You know what? It's really funny, right? Because I love sports movies. Like, it's just I own 42 on Blu-ray as well. Like sports movies, I don't know. Like they're so formulaic, but the formula gets me every single time. Like it's great. But
I'm agreeing. Dodgeball is the greatest sports movie.
First of all, I see how you say 42 whole movies, but that is way fewer than the number of movies I own on Blu-ray. I think I probably own like 120 movies on Blu-ray. But one of them is the film 42 starring the Black Panther himself, Chadwick Boseman.
I'm a time traveler, woo.
Time traveler from the past. You travel to the past. Like
you did it, E-Eccentric. We're proud of you. Owning Blu-rays in 2019. Oof.
Yeah, no, I feel that. A lot of them are like I make sure to always get Blu-rays to digital copies because that way I own the film, but I can also like watch it streaming at any time, like whenever. Which is basically the only reason that I own a bunch of Blu-rays. I could just buy the digital copies for $20, or I could buy the Blu-ray for $20 and also get the digital copy.
Honestly, 6 people watching is pretty impressive.
Still, right? Yeah.
Why on earth are 6 people watching?
I think one of them might still be you, but like
one is definitely me.
Sweared and Echoes and E are 5. Still actually here, so
it's 5.
Three are definitely still commenting. One might just be listening. I don't know.
One just fell asleep.
Right? Yeah.
Oh man, what a wild scene.
Yeah, because I have a dope DVD collection. I know you weren't actually like. I know you were just screwing with me, sort of. But I don't know. I like having. I like having the physical copies because I can pop them in and like get the, commentary tracks and stuff too. But it's also just nice to like be able to own the physical movies. If something ever happens to the digital ones, that happens. But if a movie's not on Netflix and I want to watch it, like there's movies that I really like that are not on Netflix, like Speed Racer, which actually I think is on Netflix now, but wasn't always on Netflix and isn't always on Netflix. So it's nice to have like that, or like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and stuff like that. So,
should we ask our only two real listeners to pick the first guest?
3. There's 3.
3. Fuck, my bad.
Swear Echoes and
other than Acid, we gotta wait on Acid.
By the way, I was so excited when like the first or second comment on the thread was Acid, like, shit, yeah, guys, I'm excited to listen to this, and I'm like, I think he really is. like it's just
So
Acid.
I choose Bravo Tilts bot. I choose the bot.
Can we?
Yes.
Definitely. I think I might already have Tyler's soft book for next week, but it's whatever. I know you don't really care, but every week it's like I'm like, hey Tyler, you want to be on the show this week? And like the last week and this week, and it's like I gotta go to bed tonight. Like maybe next week. But we did have a lot of people. Go Somali Pirates.
We had a lot of people reach out.
Yeah, reached out. Did anybody reach out to you over PM, or was it all me?
No, I got a couple. Yeah, I got 3 or 4
PMs.
A couple PMs, and a couple people on Snapchat that asked out.
Gotcha. Yeah. We should like make a list and figure that out.
Yeah, and I also think too I think some of it is half meme, and the other half of it is not, is more serious. So, and I don't give a fuck if it's a meme, regardless. So I don't care.
Yeah, no, there's.
But I think when we decide topics, though, we should kind of
right, and you know, well, yeah, we'll figure all that out. But
as we go, yep.
If anybody has somebody who they really want to hear on the show and is still listening live, like, let us know. So Swear says he would love to be on the show sometime and has a lot of free time on his hands right now. So yes, definitely. Yeah, we gotta make a Google Doc. Because it's yeah, we'll have like a spreadsheet of like who and topics and stuff, and I'd like to ask them about their microphones just to like have an idea of like.
I was gonna say you're a little more.
Oh so. Yeah. No, that was the first question I asked you. What kind of microphone do you have? Blue Yeti. All right, Good enough, I guess.
I do what I can.
But I'm not exaggerating. It is good enough, I guess.
Brad Thompson 1000%.
Oh yeah. No, let's talk about some people. Anybody who's actually like a Cardinals broadcaster with the organization is number 1 on the list. If they end up on the show, I'd be very happy.
We could have a 30-second interview with Jim Hayes, and the only thing we could ask him would be like, "What about the drugs in the bathroom?" I would lose my shit.
Hey, do you want to know what my favorite joke on this podcast is?
The real question is?
No, my favorite joke is that the font of our album art is the Astros jersey font.
Ooh.
I tried to find the Cardinals.
I like it.
I tried to find the Cardinals jersey font. And I couldn't find it, and I just like honestly, I think it's just because Astros came first, and I was like, "Oh, this is funny.
Away.
This is hilarious." And so it's like it's something that nobody would ever notice, but it's.
I love that.
This is the font from the back of the Astros jerseys.
That's so cool. I'm about that. So I'm so about that. Oh yeah.
Swear says he wants to get 1859 on just because his voice is beautiful. I haven't seen 1859. I don't know if I haven't seen him around in a while. I just haven't noticed him in a while. But is he still around?
Yeah, he is. He's around. Yeah, I wouldn't. If it's consistently, I'd be surprised. But I also.
He's definitely around Reddit a lot. I think he just maybe not around because he posted on Cardinals last 2 days ago, but posted on like Linux Gaming 11 hours ago. Not that that's recently. Like not that he shouldn't be on the show. I'm just specifically things.
I don't the recency is not important to me. I think it's more of the impact.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. I was just like real quick looking. Yeah, just less active on our Cardinals recently. But so is Ghost Smiley Pirates. But there's certainly people like that who are like have been around and are just sort of lurking nowadays. But
nobody asked you,
happy
Lurker.
to have some of those guys on. Nobody fucking asked you, Lurker.
That may not be on the actual podcast. That should be the podcast. Says nobody fucking asked you, Lurker.
Let's just make fuck it. That's the title of the podcast now. We changed our mind.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking asked you, Lurker.
Yeah. It's not between two words. It's
nobody fucking asked you,
Lurker.
With Kuban and Hack.
Nobody fucking asked you, Lurker. John Jay's booty.
John Jay's booty.
That would be a good one too, especially with how like ridiculous that entire saga has been with him, where it's just like where he's had to adjust to everybody's being "What's up, booty?" and then having to respond with that.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
that's again, that's one of the reasons Tyler deleted his account. It wasn't because he felt harassed. It's just because he was tired of coming in the thread every day and trying to make a point, and people just like, "Fuck Tyler." Like, it's like, yeah, that's
that's a big part of that's my fault.
No, I know. Like, again, it's not anybody's fault. Like, he was fine with the meme. He was just like, look, sometimes I just want to have a conversation, and y'all are memeing at me, and like, can we just have a conversation?
And you'd say anything. Fuck you, Tyler.
Yeah.
Poor guy. I felt so bad.
But like because he was gonna come back with another account and then didn't. He just came back with the same thing with underscores highlighting the 69. But like he also like because I again, we talk all the time. And he like part of it was like he was in Switzerland and he had like shit to do. He's like, fuck it, like I'll just leave Reddit for a little while and come back eventually.
Yeah.
Swearsman is what someone's alt? Are you asking if John Jay's booty is someone's alt?
I think that's what he's asking. Yeah.
Because no, it's his main account now. He used to be a different account that I happen. That's one that I happen to actually know. Somebody who changed their account. And I'm not gonna say it because it was his real name and that's why he changed it. But he changed it. John Jay's booty is his main account. He just changed it eventually.
Yeah.
But now I think it's the same thing. I think he's a little tired of showing up in the threads.
The meme.
Just to have to like, yep, let's do the meme. And okay, we've done the meme. Now let's go about our business.
Now we can actually talk and be normal human.
Although on the plus side for him, it has to be, hey guys, like nobody's going to say what's up booty to him if he's not like, hey guys, what's up, Yeah,
if he doesn't say, well, no, that's not true because I will.
No, but not as often. Like he generally has to initiate it for the most part. As opposed to with Tyler, where anything he said ever is fuck Tyler.
Well, yeah, every time his username would pop up, it'd be fuck Tyler. Yeah. But with Booty, it was kind of the same thing. It was just kind of every time it would pop up, and it was probably less often. But every time I saw it, I know for sure I was the first person. I was like, "What's up, Booty?" And right. If he didn't respond, I responded to myself.
Nothing much, just out here being a booty.
Nah, not much, just out here.
Or NMJOHBAV.
Oh no! It was never.
Oh really? You never did the.
No. I was always NMJOHB.
Oh, you always did the thing. The initialism.
Yep. Initialism. Okay. Yep.
I'm a fan of the fact that he said it so often that we're just ready to be like, yep, NMJOHBAB.
Yeah, it's just everybody knows what you're talking about. I didn't even say all the letters on that. Everybody knows the exact like initialism, acronym, whatever it is. Everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's awesome.
Acronym means you read it as a word. Initialism just means the initials.
Sorry.
No, I'm like FBI is an initialism, but NASA is an acronym.
Okay.
Just
wait.
Because
say it again.
FBI is an initialism, NASA is an acronym. Because you don't say NASA, you say NASA, but you don't say FB, you say FBI.
So FBI is initialism?
Because you don't say FB,
you say
FBI.
Okay.
NASA is an acronym because you don't say NASA, you say NASA.
Okay, I get it.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Grammar lessons with Kuhan.
So okay. So if it spells like another word, if you pronounce it as a word, then it's
if you pronounce it as a word, then it's an acronym.
And if you just do it as
the letters, it's an initials.
The letters, it's initials.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. Not that it really matters that anybody would challenge you on it, but
yeah. No one's going to ask.
No, for sure.
But no, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Which is why there's also things like backronyms, which is you take a word, you wanted it to be the word, and then you go back and make that an acronym.
Okay.
So the thing that comes to mind right away is like SHIELD in Marvel Comics.
Okay.
Because they clearly wanted it to spell shield, and then they went back. It's like, okay, what can we make shield be?
Also, Bay.
Yeah, Bay is probably that as well.
Bay's a good one.
I don't know the exact origins of Bay, but I assume that is correct.
I don't know either, but it's a good one.
What's the other one that I was thinking of? You're not gonna know this one. Well, have you ever exported MP3s in Audacity?
Yes.
So you know how you have to download something called Lame to do that?
No.
Okay. Well,
maybe I'm downloading them as.
No, if you're exporting those MP3s, you definitely downloaded Lame at some point and just forgot about it.
Okay.
But yeah, I agree. Swear that's probably what it was. Just Babe said weird, but I'm not sure. But anyway, so Lame is LAME, but it stands for Lame Ain't an MP3 Encoder, which is actually also is it tautologic? No, it's not the word I'm looking for. Anyway, like ATM machine, but so I guess it's not a great example.
No.
Let me see. I'm sure there's something I can find back. Oh, like the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act. That's probably the classic example. They clearly wanted it to spell patriot, and then we're like, okay, let's find out what patriot stands for. Okay. And then came up with some bullshit that patriot stood for.
Okay. Now like I said, Bay is before anything else.
Yeah.
So it is.
No, we or before anything else. Or before
that's an acronym. Then.
So Sweard's saying it's a backronym because it wasn't initially like you're before anyone else. You're BAE. You're Bay. It was people just saying Babe wrong, and then they're like, oh, it stands for before anyone else. So that would be a backronym.
Okay.
Again, not that it really matters.
It doesn't, but I still want.
Like backronyms, not even necessarily a real word. I don't think it kind of is, but kind of isn't.
It's close enough.
But it's really just. Apparently, it is in the dictionary. So good for backronym. Backronym is a portmanteau of the words back and acronym.
Okay. We should include this in the podcast.
I think we are still recording. Let me stop recording.
Are we? Fuck. we're gonna edit a lot of this shit out.
Stop. So radar is also an acronym.
It is, but I forget what it stands for.
Radio detection and ranging. Radar. Okay. Sonar, I think, is also an acronym.
Sonar's one too.
Amber Alert is another one that's a backronym. So it was named after a little girl named Amber, but now it stands for America's Missing Broadcast Emergency Response, which is, again, it's like, whatever.
Sorry, this one's more like Badar, and got him lonely. I love it.
Adidas. Oh, Adidas is a good one. Because Adidas, what do you know what Adidas? Why it's called Adidas?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I wish I did. I want to say I do, but I don't.
So Adidas has a backronym associated with it. It's called Adidas because its founder is named Adolf Dassler. Adi Dassler. Adi Das.
He beat you to it.
Fine. But a lot of people think it's All Day I Dream About Sports or All Day I Dream About Soccer. But it's not. First of all, it wouldn't be soccer because they don't call it soccer there.
How did you feel about the game today?
What game today?
The women's team today.
Oh, I didn't watch it. I rarely watch soccer ever. So I did not watch it. I was busy all day anyway. But
okay, that's fair enough.
Actually, my cousin-in-law is a huge soccer fan. She's a big Manchester United fan. She has a YouTube channel. I don't know if she ever posts, but I know she has a YouTube channel about soccer. So I asked her, like, because they live in St. Louis now. They like grew up in Pakistan, and they just moved. They moved to St. Louis a couple years ago. My cousin moved in with my brother when he was living there. And now, like, nobody else in the family lives in St. Louis, but they still live there, and like they're getting a lot of civic pride. Like, they were rooting hard for the Blues, just because like they were really excited about it. And they don't even have we don't have ice in Pakistan. We have field hockey. That's what they call hockey in Pakistan. If it's hockey, it's field hockey. Because the Pakistan field hockey team was like Olympic caliber. Like they won the Olympics in like '92.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But yes, I know it's association football, but they don't call it they don't call it soccer. Except here and like Australia, who also has their own Aussie rules football. Yeah, it was awesome to see that because like again, like I watched more hockey in the last 3 rounds of the playoffs than I watched in my entire life. I watched more hockey because I watched most of the last 3 rounds of the playoffs. I watched more hockey in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals than I watched in my entire life preceding that. Like aside from the playoffs, like I watched. So like I never watched.
And it was
hockey.
awesome.
It was great.
And it was awesome.
It was great. It was awesome. I'm super into hockey now. Like I've been watching so many hockey YouTube videos in the last couple weeks. Yeah. I'm very excited for hockey to come back already.
Have you seen the Alexander Steen playoff goal?
Alexander Steen what?
Alexander Steen versus the LA Kings in the playoffs. Have you seen that goal?
No, from a couple years ago.
Multiple years ago. Swearsman might know the exact
I can
year
go find
it,
it.
but it is the most the same way that like Joe Buck called 2011. That call. They didn't win, obviously, because you kind of know the story now. But same way that they called that goal, where it is iconic. It is to this day. It is probably 2013 or something. But it is my favorite call of any. I love. We'll see you tomorrow night. I love they will not go away, and those are probably the greatest calls in St. Louis history. But the call of Steen's goal against the Kings, unbelievable. It is probably my favorite because it's not as well known, and it's one of those things where it just kind of it's a little more hipster. So
this should work. You should hear the audio of this.
He gets in there, pass across, smashed back down by Pietrangelo. Both Brown and Carter led the club with 8 power play goals. Stop! Oh my God! The Blues a short-handed goal to win it. Alexander Steen. Goodbye. Good night. Game over.
Quick is looking one way, not thinking that Steen's going to stay with him. Steen, I mean, inexplicably goes all the way below the goal line, killing off a penalty in overtime.
It's game one.
Steen, what a game for Steen. 2 goals.
But like just like the panger call, like how he reacts is ridiculous. Yeah, it's 2013.
I don't know. We'll see. I think that Chris Kerber call at the end of it's over. The game is over. series is over. The wait is over.
Yeah.
I think
I
don't know. I think that's I think a really like it, to be able to do that shit in the moment. Whew,
Yeah.
oof.
Awesome.
Like that's great. And God, I forget the oh my God, who's the other guy? The other guy who's swear it'll probably get it, but the other guy in the Blues booth. It's Kerber.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
It's Kerber, and it's the guy who used to play for the Blackhawks, and I cannot remember his name.
But I agree. Like that one is gonna be Evocentric has it.
Yeah,
Give the old 9 of hearts is Panger. Yeah, but like the goodbye, good night game that is my favorite call.
But I will say, Joe Vitale, the beauty of because you I'm sure you guys have seen the video of that
Game 6.
No, of the end of Game 7 of Kerber sitting there and calling it, and then at one point you see Kerber just stop to soak it in, and Vitale jumps right in to it's basically Kerber's letting Vitale soak it in, and then he just stops. Like he stops because he knows this is the time to pause, and then he's frozen. He doesn't he can't move. And Vitale
the same thing happened in Game 6 of the Sharks series, where they were sitting there and no, it wasn't the Sharks series. It was a Stars series. And it was during the double overtime game, and when he was saying, "Oh, the St. Louis and the all that," and then
bring out the Zamboni, yeah,
and he stopped and he sat there and Vitale was literally just like, even his hands were like, "Let it breathe, let it breathe, let it breathe."
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, he came in and he said, "Now go!" Like let him hear the crowd noise enough, and then now go.
Yeah,
and it was that. Basically that moment where he's like, it was awesome.
It's just the way those guys can pick each other up is like phenomenal. That he can be like, okay, you need a moment. I know you need to take this in. Okay, take it in. I've got you. I'll cover you. And then he starts talking, and like at one point they shake hands in the booth. It's phenomenal. Like because there's some
also,
booths. There's like Cardinals booths, right? Like obviously it's Dan and either Tim, which we're not even going to talk about, or Ricky, Jimmy, Brad. And then there's occasional Al Roboski. But on the radio side, it's Mike and John or John and Ricky. But sometimes John gets the weekend off, and it's Ricky and Claiborne. And this just doesn't work for me. No. Actually, John and Claiborne, nothing against Mike Claiborne. He's fine. But Mike Claiborne on the radio, I just don't like him because I don't think he has the right kind of chemistry with anybody. Like it's just not fun to listen to him.
The Swearsman had a really good point where Maroon's double overtime goal is probably the most iconic call where it's Pat Maroon, it's the St. Louis and put the city on his shoulder.
I was watching video of that last night. Not only video of that, I was watching video of his son reacting to that goal, and I
was crying.
Cried. I wept because right before that, I also watched a video of Maroon a couple years ago as an Oiler scoring a goal in St. Louis against the Blues, and his son's in the crowd for that, and he starts crying because whatever, he doesn't get to spend time with his son, which sucks. Yeah. And first of all, the interview was great. Like he gives him a moment and okay, yeah, we're done with the interview. Like this is good, thank you, have a good one. But him just weeping at his son getting to see him score a goal, and then his son crying at him scoring that overtime goal in St. Louis. It's the best. It's beautiful. It's awesome. And how can you not be romantic about hockey?
The other thing too is I agree that the best call and the best moment is Maroon's double overtime goal. But I think when a couple years from now, when everybody looks back on the run, it's going to be the David Freese moment that was this changed the entire postseason is going to be Jaden Schwartz tipping one in. I think if they lose if they lose that game, it's a completely different postseason. But when they won that one, I think that was when we can fucking do this thing.
It's tough to say, right? Because David Freese was so good through that whole postseason, and there really wasn't any one guy who was that through the whole postseason, except kind of Bennington. But Bennington had so many like not good games that I don't think you can really call. You can't really like it's tough with him too because of. But I mean, obviously the way he bounced back was so incredible. But it's tough just because like it was a different guy each series, which is great. It's good to have them be able to pick each other up. But like just because like Tarasenko was hurt in the Stanley Cup Finals and O'Reilly was hurt in the I don't remember if it was the Western Conference Finals or the series before that. But like just because like they were hurt at different times, and so no one could be the guy each like for the whole postseason in the way that Freese was for both the NLCS and the World Series, because Freese had the home run in the NLCS too.
Yeah. And so like here's I don't know. I'm reading this chat because I think they'll appreciate this, and I hope you do too. What I told everybody during this whole kind of postseason was it was very much like nostalgic and resemblant of the 2011 World Series run, because not in the way of like how the teams came to be, and like there is a kind of similarities between the two in terms of not being in a postseason spot and rallying, getting into a postseason spot and all that. But the 100% the part of it that I always tell people, and I was telling people this after they beat the Stars, was this team feels the same way the 2011 team feels, because if nothing else, it was a good ride and it was fun. Like they gave us everything they got, and it felt like playing with house money. It was just like, we should not be here. Absolutely, we should not be here. And if for a single second they falter and they lose, fuck it. Like it was so fun to watch them. But I kept telling people, and I was telling people obnoxiously, I was telling people, we're gonna win because I know that this team is I know how this team is. I felt this way before, and it's like, this team is gonna be. They're going to be there in the end.
What I will say is, as somebody who was not a big hockey fan, was trying to get into hockey, and I've been trying to get into hockey for a couple of years, and obviously a championship really helps with that. And like the same thing is, like I think I said last time, was that's what helped with the Cardinals and becoming a really big baseball fan too, was that the Cardinals won the World Series at the right time for me to fall in love with baseball. As if the Blues had lost the Western Conference Finals to the Sharks, first of all, again, because I tried to watch hockey the first time they played the Sharks, and one of my best friends
would have been crushing.
Is a Sharks fan. Crushing. But not only that, with the hand pass, like that would have been not just crushing, it would have made me be like, look, I can't deal with this. If the officiating's this bad and we get fucked like this, I can't do it, But because like if we had not won that series, if the hand pass hadn't happened, like it would still be fun to watch, and maybe I wouldn't be a big hockey fan, but I'd still like, watch hockey here and there and keep trying to get into hockey. But if we had lost post hand pass, that'd be it for me. Like I think I'd be done. Like fuck it. Fuck this shit, I
understand that, and I don't disagree. I understand why you'd feel that way. I was one of those people, I was so adamant. I was like, and you saw how I was on Twitter. I was like, "This is the year." Like and
I get it, right? Like I said, it was fun to watch. But again, as somebody who like wasn't into hockey and was trying to see officiating fuck up a game that badly in like on one of the biggest stages, that's, and the fact that like that, because I was like listening and watching, and they're like, "Yeah, that's not a reviewable play." Like, why? What the fuck are you talking about? Why is that not a reviewable? Like, things that are not reviewable plays are ridiculous, but something like that, how's that not a fucking reviewable play? Are you shitting me? Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
But it is. But that was once they got into the finals, that was literally the moment where I was just telling myself
into the Stanley Cup Finals. At that point, I was like, yeah, they have not been here in my lifetime. It'll
be fun. It's gonna be fun no matter what.
They've not been here in so long that yes, now I'm happy with anything to even win the Western Conference. Fine, but if they'd lost the Western Conference championship to the Sharks again for the second time in like 3 years or 4 years or whatever, and for the hand pass to have happened in that series, that would have been like, that's kind of it, for me, for now at least. Like I probably would have tried again eventually, but like that would have been soul crushing.
It would have been, but that I was telling people from when they won the Winnipeg series, even so when they got to Game 7 of the Stars series, I was telling people, if nothing else, I know we got everything out of that team. Like that, there is no reason for them to be there. And then that was what I kept telling me, there's no reason for them to be here, and that's why I know they're gonna win. Yeah, that's why, because it was ridiculous that they were there, and it was like going after Game 5.
Swear says if they lost in the final, that would have been his own special kind of dick punch after going up one after Game 5. Yeah. That would be, but again, it was one of those things that, like, especially because at that point, because I was trying to get into hockey, I had not been following the Blues at all until the playoffs, and so at that point, like, knowing the story and realizing, like, yeah, this team has no reason to fucking be here, and even then, like, to claw that far, to be the first Blues team to make a championship in 49 years, like, that in itself, like, yeah, it sucks to lose, but that in itself is good enough, and hey, like, we'll get him next year. But yeah, I don't know. Obviously the win is better.
Yeah. But like, 1,000%. But like the
fact of the matter is 2 months ago, I had never watched a full hockey game in my life. And 2 weeks ago, I drove through the night to St. Louis to go to the Blues parade.
Yeah.
Like,
awesome.
It's and a big part of that is civic pride. I love St. Louis, but part of that is like I got super hyped watching the fucking hockey games. I bought jerseys. I decked myself out in hockey gear. At some point I was like, do I own more Blues gear than Cardinals gear now? I was like, no, I don't. I have like 3 Blues shirts, 4 Blues shirts. Hold on, 5. Before the playoffs, I owned 2 Blues shirts and a hoodie. And now I own 5 Blues shirts, a hoodie, and a jersey. Oh, and a hat. I had the hat before too, and now I have 2 hats.
Hell yeah!
I did meet Zaphod at the parade. I was hanging out with Zaphod the whole time at the parade. Not at the parade. He ran through the parade to the Arch Grounds, but the whole rally, I was hanging out with Zaphod the whole time. Zaphod and my friend from high school, because he got me high. Not because he got me high. I was hanging out with him anyway. Like, I was like, hey, Zaphod, you should hang out. And he was like, hey, you want some edibles? I was like, sure. But yes, certainly hung out with Zaphod at the parade.
Sorry, I was typing a very good comment. Hell yeah.
You ran. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize you ran into him for it. I was. Oh, were you on the Arch Grounds at some point? Because I know I posted to try to get people to show up, and nobody ended up showing up except for Zaphod. Like, Captain Flaherty was like, "Yeah, I'm here," and I was like, "Okay, yeah, we're right around here. Like, come find us." And then I saw somebody like looking around who I thought was him, and I was like, Flaherty, and he did not respond. I'm like, okay, I don't think it's him. But somebody thought I said Vladdy, and I was like, no, that's not at all what I said. I was calling for a friend. It's like, oh, okay. I'm like, no, Vladimir Tarasenko's not just hanging out here. The parade hasn't even started yet.
You don't know that.
The parade started at noon. This is at like 10 in the morning. There was no way Vlad was there.
Oh,
swear, you were tired? Dude, I woke up at 10 a.m. the previous morning.
It was a nightmare.
Went to
It was great. It was not a nightmare. It was fantastic, but I was wasted.
I woke up at 10 a.m., went to a job interview, went to work, and then drove through the night to St. Louis, and then got high. I was dying.
Because I got high.
Literally, at one point, I went under the arch to take a nap on the concrete. Like, I was dead. And then on my
Rest in peace.
on my way back to my cousin's place, I straight up passed out in my car. Like I was behind the driver, like behind the wheel, and I almost fell asleep. I did. I think I fell asleep for about 10 seconds, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take a nap. But it was fun.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, all of us.
It was definitely enjoyable.
I was jealous. I was jealous of it for sure. It was awesome.
You got to see Pujols. You got to see Pujols hit a home run at Busch. So
yeah, I did. That was cool. But
you win some, you lose
awesome.
some.
You win some, you lose some.
You had to win one and to lose the other.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking the same thing. Like I probably would have gone to that Saturday game because I had Saturday off again, or maybe I would have gone to that Friday game. I forget which day I had off, but I think I had Friday off, so I probably would have gone to that Friday game if I had not gone the previous week
to the
parade. But I think
the parade was dope.
I'm glad I went to the parade.
Yeah. I'm glad you went too. If we had to split it up, I was glad that we had to split it up. Not that I didn't want to see it, but it would have. I was glad we had representation at both.
I was just glad I got to live see Brett Hull say, "We went Blues."
I just want to one day be as drunk as Brett, as drunk as Brett Hull, and I'm working on it. Like I'm really trying.
Yeah, I agree, Swear. I think my experience was also a little meh, especially because like we were at the rally, and I don't blame them for taking a long time at the parade, but they took a long ass time at the parade. So like we're just sitting there waiting for the Blues to show up, and at some point Charles Glenn Band is out of music, and we're like, are they gonna show up at some point? But they did show up. It was fun, and like I'm glad I went, but man, it could have been better planned.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was a big portion of it was they didn't realize they were going to get out of the floats and like just be trying to just be wasted with fans and everything. So
yeah, I think I said this to you last week too, but like it was. I straight up because I was in line to get like I was gonna get like a hot dog and a drink, and then but I was super thirsty. And someone was like, hey, like, if you're just getting a lemonade, just come over here as you can skip the line. I'm like, cool. You know what? I'd rather just get a lemonade right now than get a hot dog and a lemonade later. So I went to the front and got my lemonade. But before I got that lemonade, like, the woman came up and she, like, from the restaurant at the Arch, she was like, yeah, they... Like, obviously this is on 3 days notice, and none of the food trucks would come out on 3 days notice. So we're making hot dogs in the restaurant and bringing them out 30 at a time. And like, that's why the lines are so stupid long, because they're not making the hot dogs at the booths because none of the food trucks wanted to show up. And I'm like, I get that they want the week's notice, but you would think they'd want to come out for just the free press they'd get from 500,000 people being here. You'd think they'd want that press, but whatever. But also my favorite thing about that was there was me and like two other people gotten scooted up, like the person right behind me and I think the people right in front of me, whatever, got up to go to get in the she said lemonade only. If you're only getting a lemonade, get in this line. If you're getting anything else, don't get in this line. So one person goes up and whatever, didn't hear her right. She's like, did you say lemonade only? She's like, yeah. So she got back in her place in line. Fine. Next guy. Yeah, I want 2 hot dogs, a bottle of water, and 2 lemonades. She's like, this lemonade only. So he gets 2 lemonades and then gets back in his space in line. I'm like, that's fucking ballsy. I would never have the balls to go get the lemonades and then get back in my spot in line. Because if you're getting your lemonade, get back to the back of the line, Because I thought about doing that. I'm like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
But like he got his lemonade and then got back in the fucking line. Dude was a dick. I fucking hated that dude immediately, and then he got worse. I'm like, fuck you.
Hell yeah. Good for him, honestly.
I wish I had the kind of balls to do that shit. But like I no way would have the balls to get my lemonade and then get back in my spot in line. Oh. Couldn't even consider that. Man. Just to even think that you could do that is like, what? I'm sorry, what?
Bananas. Oh, all right. I gotta go to bed. Right, you're later than me, and I gotta.
Oh yeah, I have to be at work in like 8 hours, so I definitely should go to bed. But
Swearsman, Eve Eccentric, we appreciate you guys so much. You guys are awesome.
I'm gonna stay on for another like 5 minutes or so while I finish this MLB The Show game. So if anybody else wants to talk about something, let me know. But Hack, have a beautiful night, and I will send you the link to edit this as soon as now.
Okay, cool. If you're gonna talk shit about me, please be kind.
Return to the dick, am I right?
Yeah, fuck that guy. Later, man.
Bye. Swear, I wish I had a job. Yeah, I wish I had a job that's better than the fucking job. I work at the movie theater, and hopefully nobody from AMC is listening right now because I hate my job and I want a real job. Yes, I am on Discord. We were just talking on Discord. I would, like I said, I'm only going to be on for another couple minutes while I finish this game. It's Road to the Show, so it's only going to be a couple minutes. Otherwise, I would continue talking, but I would rather not start a call and then have to go right to bed. Ugh. But yeah, thanks for all the positive feedback. I'm glad everyone likes it. I really expected more negative feedback, and there was really none except for like one guy who's already shadow banned. So. Well, Swearsman, if you want to move to the northwest suburbs of Chicago, and work at a movie theater. So this link says undefined, which means it's going to take me to nothing. So this is a bad link. That's a dead link. Good job. Damn. Message retracted. Yeah. It's a 3-2 count now on Lucas Kahn. Here we go. I'm going to click on this link now. I always say Yahoo, but no one asks how you. What? That doesn't make any sense. It's a 3-2 count here on Kahn in the top of the 7th. Cardinals lead the Reds 3-2 here at Great American Ballpark. Kahn swings at a pitch low in the zone. Puig is running after it, and he makes... That's not Puig, whatever. Right fielder makes the catch on the warning track. And Kahn flies out. Oh, how you? Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm looking for jobs in St. Louis, too. Oh, apparently, here in the bottom of the 7th, Dakota fucking Hudson gave up 7 more runs. So it's now 9-3 Cincinnati. I know in the top of the 7th, it was 3-2 St. Louis. It's now 9-3 Cincinnati because Road to the Show hates me. We join you now in the bottom of the 8th as Nick Senzel comes to the plate on an 0-2 count. Here comes the pitch from Hudson. And Kahn flips it to DeYoung. Over to Goldschmidt for a 6-4-3 double play. And that's $100 to Cardinals Care from our friends at Wells Fargo Advisors. John Rooney will have the 9th for you. Join you now in the top of the 9th inning. It's still 9-3 Cincinnati. 2 outs, runner on first is the catcher, Yadier Molina, as Kahn steps to the plate. Here's the pitch, and it's a slider on the outside edge. Kahn batting from the right side here against the left-handed pitcher. Here comes the pitch, and here's a swing and a deep drive to left center field, and the center fielder lays out for a spectacular catch as the Cardinals are retired for the last out of the game. Final score 9-3. Cincinnati. Great Azerbaijani ballpark. Good call. Matt Bowman with the loss. Sorry, with the win. Oh, Matt Bowman took the win. Apparently Matt Bowman pitches for the Reds now. Fun fact. Kyle Martin with the loss. That was pretty sad. It's pretty sad. I'm going to play one more series in Road to the Show. Once again, normally I would stream it. Oh, you know what? Here's what I can do, though. I can give you my face. And fade. There we go. Yeah, normally I would stream it, but then I have to like stop streaming and start streaming from my PlayStation, and it's just not worth the effort. So, not going to do that. And I don't have like a box that lets me do that, so. Oh well. Time to switch to the next series. Who am I playing this series? Great Algonquin Ballpark. This is a Heil PR40 microphone. I have a Mackie Pro FX mixer here, and then it's on a what is this? It's a Rode PSA1 boom arm. And then I have a FET head plugged into my mixer. It's about an $800 setup with the shock mount microphone, the pop filter, and then the boom arm and the mixer. I also have another light up here for a little bit more lighting, but see how that looks. Sorry, I'm like burping on myself. Yeah, that's fine. Let me go back here. Yeah, I spent a lot of money on this setup because I do a lot of podcasting, and I got it like month to month, like piece by piece. I have like my backup equipment as well, and I have a traveling setup. Actually, my traveling setup is a pretty good, inexpensive setup. So it's the Shure SM58 microphone, which is about $100, and then it's a Behringer UMC 202 mixer. Sorry, I have the box for it right here. It's actually UMC 202 interface. This is actually the UMC 22, which I have. I actually have two portable interfaces for different situations, but they're pretty much the same thing. Just one has more inputs than the other. But that thing's like $40, and then my mic. I have a microphone. My cheaper microphone is $100, but you can definitely get good inexpensive microphones for around $50. And then if you just need to get the cabling and stuff, and the mic stands and stuff like that. But and I have a mic stand right over here. It's off screen here. But that's what I was gonna have Ghost of Molly Pirates recording on if he was able to show up tonight. But again, unfortunately, he wasn't able to. Podcastage. It's a YouTube channel called Podcastage. It's Podcast AGE, and that is a great channel for reviews and stuff for podcasting microphones and stuff like that. He splits them off, for cheaper stuff. He reviews interfaces, mic stands occasionally. It's a great channel, and I honestly, I'm probably not going to buy another microphone soon. Actually, I might buy one soon, depending on what it looks like when I'm in Fort Collins. But it's a great reviews show if you were looking to get recording equipment and podcasting equipment, and streaming equipment even. Like if you're looking to do like video game stuff, which I don't think you are, but if you were, that's he talks about that stuff too. So I highly, highly recommend Podcastage on YouTube. Durability. I want to turn my durability up, but that's not enough. What's my durability cap at 65? I don't need to increase my cap. I just need to increase my durability. Training facility. Let's yeah, this is a $400 microphone, and I'm glad I got this one. I like this microphone, but part of me keeps wishing I got the Shure SM7B because I think that gives me more of the sound that I would like. And there's a non-zero chance that sometime in the future I will end up buying another $400 microphone, but it's what it is. I'm definitely going to buy some tabletop mic stands soon. There's some good $10 ones, $10, $15 ones that I'm actually going to buy. So I might do quick little reviews on those and let people know how those are, in my opinion. But I'm going to Fort Collins for our baseball trade deadline game, a bunch of us are going to Fort Collins. All the commissioners, not all the commissioners, but a bunch of the commissioners are going to Fort Collins to run the game, and so I'm going to bring my whole mixer set up and try to see if we can do stuff there. But I want to have like mic stands and stuff while we're there. So I will say, so when I was younger and didn't have money, my thing was always content is king. Doesn't matter what you sound like. And I think that's true. It's still true, but it also does matter a little bit what you sound like. And I won't listen to shows that sound like ass. Like, I won't do it. I should probably go back and try Effectively Wild again. But when I first started listening, tried to start listening to Effectively Wild, it sounded like absolute garbage, and I just couldn't do it. It was unlistenable to me. I hear it's gotten better. Maybe I'll check it out. But it just sounded like dudes talking from like their sofas, and with their computer mics, which is so weird because, like, you know, and more so now than it used to be. But USB mics are so cheap and so easy to get now. But yeah, I agree. If you have amazing content and mass sound, you can get off the ground. And you know, like, I had the same microphone for years, and it's a good microphone. It's like a $60. Oh, that's not it. That's it. It's like a $60 microphone, but it's a condenser, not a dynamic. And I used to think condensers were better. Now I think dynamics are better. But it's a pretty decent mic. And I actually have like 3 of them. But it's something I've moved away from, and now they're kind of paperweights. I should probably sell them or something, but I like having them. It's not bad to have as like a spare emergency type thing, but I don't need 3 of them as spare emergency type things. And also, like, you know, I guess sound doesn't entirely not matter. There's certain things that matter and certain things that don't. So like background noise, and if the background noise is overpowering your own sound, that's a bad thing. You know, if you sound like you're far away and like don't care about the recording quality, that's a bad thing. But you know, as long as you are understandable and there's not like a lot of echo or anything, I think you're fine. You know, as long as it doesn't sound like you're in a tin can, I think you're fine. I know I'm coming in well. I would hope I'm coming in well. This is, again, a $400 microphone and a $200 mixer. And I think like an $80 cable. But this cable my dad already had and never uses because my dad records music. But I'm using pretty high-end equipment, so I would hope I'm sounding good. But yeah, I there's some good, if you're looking to get started right away, there's some really good like $30-$40 microphones that I think you can look into, Sweared. Sorry, I hit what should have been a triple, but the goddamn pitcher was ahead of me, and he stopped at third base. So yeah, so it's just like a handheld type microphone, but you're talking to it like you would talking to a regular microphone, like you're used to. So because like this microphone looks like you would talking to it sideways, like this, but it's not one of those microphones. It's one that you're talking to frontways, like this. So you know, it's its own thing. But I think the Samson CO1U might be the one that I'm thinking of, but I could be wrong. Oh no, the Samson Q2U. If you're looking to get started on a budget, the Samson Q as in quail, 2 as in the number, U as in USB is I think the way to go. And there's some really good desktop mics. I think the newer desktop mic is a really good option. Son of a bitch. I made a toot blend. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, the newer desktop mic is a good option, and that basically all works together perfectly, and I think all together comes out to like $40-50. And then also the nice thing about that is that it's upgradable, so you can use that microphone. You can use that microphone with a mixer or with like an audio interface, or you can use it individually. So it would be nice you can use it with the USB and then eventually get an interface, upgrade to using it as an XLR, and then now that you have the interface, now you can upgrade the mic. And now that you upgrade the mic, you can upgrade the interface, so you can go piecemeal, and do it that way. Don't worry, I made it for the 2-play with a double. Actually, another double. I've hit doubles in back-to-back innings now, but it's an RBI double this time. Yeah. So I think the Samsung, I used to recommend different things at different times, but I think the Samsung Q2U is my go-to for entry-level budget podcasts now. I hate the Blue Snowball Ice. Absolutely hate it. I do not like the Blue Snowball. The Yeti is fine. It's a pretty good mic, especially if you can get the most out of it with a good soundproofish room, and you talk close to it. You don't talk far from it. You're talking to the right end of it. You don't talk to the wrong end of it. But I will say I was talking to Hack earlier. Hack uses the Blue Yeti, and I am not a huge fan of the Blue Yeti. But I like it I like it enough. I am a speed first shortstop, and I moved. DeYoung has been moved to second base, and Wong unfortunately was traded to the Cubs, which is very sad. But yeah, I'm a speed first shortstop, but I try to get hits where I can. I mean, I have a pretty decent batting average. It's down to like 311 now, which is pretty bad. Like I was up to like 380 at some point, but I had like a really bad stretch. Honestly, I could probably get on base 60% of the time with a bunt single, but that's no fun. If I was a real person playing for the Cardinals, that's what I would do. If this person was a real person. But he's not, so it shouldn't happen. Oh, here comes the boss challenge. I like these new animations in MLB 19, the show 19 rather, where like a closer comes in or like a really good starter comes in and it gives you a boss challenge. Where's the run? Runner on second. Okay, so like Felipe Vasquez just came in. And it's like, okay, boss challenge now. It's like, Vasquez, you need to do something dope off of Vasquez. Batting 312 now, actually. So, sorry, 311 fans. All right, I think I finished the microphone thing. Yeah, Samsung Q2U. Yeah, the Yeti. When I talked to Hacky, I was like, "What mic do you have?" He said the Blue Yeti, and I was like, all right, that's good enough. Like it's a perfectly good microphone. Oh, didn't drive in wrong in the first 3 pitches. Oh well. I hate when this thing gives you a challenge driving a run within the first 3 pitches, and then the first 3 pitches are all balls. It's like, well, what am I supposed to fucking do with that? I'm facing the Pirates right now. It's 4-2 Pirates here in the top of the 9th with runners on first and second. I'm up at bat with 1 out. So I would very much like to hit a home run here, or at least a double or something. Or he's going to walk me. He's thrown like 5 balls, and I've swung at 2 of them, but I at least fouled 1 of them off. So now it's a full count, 3-2. And that's a pitch low. So now it's bases loaded for Jose Martinez. Martinez is hitting .316 with a .393 OBP and .455 slugging percentage. Has a single and an RBI tonight. A single likely plates 2 here. And a double would put the Cardinals in the lead here on the top of the 9th. Any comments on how people look at minor league uniforms after selecting them as a team? I'm not sure what you mean, Beast Base. Like, you don't have options, it's just the one? Because not really. I wonder if NBA 2K19 is downloaded yet. Nope. This motherfucker just hit the longest single because Tyler O'Neill did not fucking run. Jose Martinez hit a single off the top of the wall, which should have been a bases clearing double, but instead Tyler O'Neill only went to third base, so I had to stay at second. Some old bullshit. In steps Paul Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt went on a tear at the beginning of the season, but now is batting .326, though he does have 25 home runs here and 68 RBI. 0 for 3 today, but he's hoping to change that with one swing of the bat and turn the tide the way of the Cardinals. Anything past the infield here should play to run. Here's a swing, and that is over the first baseman's head. One run is in. Here comes Khan, and Khan standing up makes it home. That's a 2-run single for Paul Goldschmidt, bringing him up, giving him RBIs number 69 and 70 here, as the Cardinals go up 5-4, and that's our final, folks. The Cardinals beat the Pirates 5-4. You can't select uniforms on minor league teams and quick play or whatever, so I can't look at minor league uniforms. Oh, that's annoying. I never play minor league teams. I also never play quick play. I only ever play franchise and road to the show, and I haven't really played a lot of franchise yet either. But, yeah, it seems like you should be able to select them. That's a pain. I really want to get around to, like, doing an entire broadcast of MLB The Show game as like a radio broadcaster, but anytime I get to like the 5th or 6th inning, first of all, I'm trying to also play the game and I run out of stats. Ooh, that's swung at not a great slider there. Way inside as Archer goes up on Khan 0-1. That's a fastball down. Khan lays off of that one. Evens the count 1-1. There's a swing and a foul ball off to the right side. Another slider just inside, but that is close to the plate. Got to swing at that. Here comes another pitch. Swing, and that is driven to left field for a single. As the left fielder gets that in quickly. Oh, I didn't contact swing. I just regular swung. Oh, well. Yeah, I thought about that, Swear, and I thought also about if I play and Hack and I commentate or me and somebody else commentate, because then at least I can, like, pause and someone knows I'm trying to, like, concentrate and they can take over. We also are considering doing, like, a live broadcast of a Cardinals game. That might be something we do, where you just watch us and you can try to sync us with the Cardinals game. But for now, I'll just do what I can on MLB The Show. And there's another single off the bat of Jose Martinez. Whoa, Nelly. As Khan makes his way to second base, it was a shallow single, so Khan can't get very far. Does lead the league now with, I want to say 72 stolen bases. There's a ball low and outside. As Archer's looking on Khan here. Comes set. And he breaks for third, but a little too soon. as Archer moves towards third, but Kahn is back in safely at second base. Lucas Kahn dives back into second, and he is out at second base as Kramer lays down the tag. He got caught leading off the bag a little too much and makes the out on the base paths. It's a real Jack Flaherty move right there. Here comes the pitch to Corey Dickerson, and Yachty throws down, but not quick enough for Adam Frazier, who picks up his 20th stolen base of the season. This game is really bad at picking up Yachty Yachty pickoffs, whatever. Caught stealings. Sorry, I'm tired. There's a hit off the bat of God knows who, but Kahn throws it to first for the out. P-Space doing fighting commentary recently. That's interesting. I would like to try to figure that stuff out. I've never really watched it either. I went to a live fighting game tournament, and that was cool. But you really got to know what you're talking about, and I don't know what I'm talking about at all with that stuff. I doubt it, Sword. I'm sure they actually have like his arm accuracy and stuff. It's just when you're actually like doing the physics of it, Yachty is well past what should be reasonable for a human being. So there's another grounder to short as Kahn flips it over to Goldschmidt for the out at first base, 6-3. Wow, I'm real low now. Let me bend that down towards me. Kahn steps in here, the top of the third, with a runner on first as the pitcher. Don't know who the pitcher is today. I'm going to guess Austin Gomber. Here's the pitch, right on top of the plate. But Kahn is held to a single in short right field. And with the pitcher in front of him, no threat of stealing. So the first baseman will just stand off to the side here. Normal depth. As Jose Martinez steps up to the plate. He's 1 for 1 today. There's a strike to Jose to start off the at-bat. Martinez, with that .319 average, .455 slugging percentage, having a very good year. And that's a check swing, but he did go around for the second strike of the at-bat. Jose Martinez, in this game, looks nothing like Jose Martinez. And there is a foul ball off to the left side for Jose. And we'll do it again here at 0-2. 1 out. Top of the third. There's a ball. That's a 1-2 count now here on Jose Martinez. And there's one in the dirt for Jose. Hoping he'd swing at it, but he did not. So we're now even here at 2-2. I think he's going to challenge him with a fastball here, and he does not. He goes way inside. So now Martinez is worth the count from 0-2 all the way to a full 3-2 count. And there's a swing and a drive, but it is foul on the left field line. So we'll do it again here at 3-2. Wasn't that bad. Jose Martinez has worked here. And that's a ball. So from 0-2, works it to a walk as Jose Martinez takes first base. And the bases are loaded once again for Paul Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt took a walk here in the first inning. 70 ribbies, 25 home runs, .328 batting average was leading the league in that last stat here, batting average, for quite a bit of time. Not sure if he still is because I have not looked at the leaderboards. And Goldie takes a first pitch for a ball. It's now 1-0 on Goldschmidt. And I'm pretty sure Archer has thrown 5 consecutive balls. That's a strike on Paul Goldschmidt, the power-hitting first baseman. Here in the top of the third, 1-1 count, only 1 out with the bases loaded for Paul Goldschmidt. Always a threat, as that one goes right to the shortstop, and Goldschmidt is grounded into a double play to end the inning. 6-4-3 off the bat of Goldschmidt. And we'll see you here in the next inning that shows up. And that is the bottom of the third. We're now in the bottom of the third. 1 out. Runner on first. Up to bat now is Corey Dickerson on a 3-1 count. Michaelis pitches. And there's a grounder right to short. 6-4-3. And he gets him with a nice stretch at first base. That is $100 to Cardinals Care from our friends at Wells Fargo Advisors. That's the end of the third inning. We'll see you in the fourth, by which I actually mean the top of the sixth. We join you now in the top of the sixth inning. In steps Lucas Kahn here. He's 2 for 2 today with 2 singles. And he drives that one to left field, but it is a lazy fly ball as Corey Dickerson reels that one in for the first out of the inning. CAE, I should be done anytime soon here, just once I finish with this Pirates series. As we're now in the top of the 8th, Archer has thrown 99 pitches but allowed no runs yet. In steps Lucas Kahn, 2 for 3 today. Hoping to break open scoring for the Cardinals in this inning. Kahn checks his swing and absolutely did not go around. I want to see a replay on that. All right, let's see what happened. Maybe I did, but it didn't look like I did. Okay, maybe it's just the animation that got a mistake, but here is the swing, hold on, that they say I went around on. You can see that now. Here we go. You see that again? Ready? And apparently that's a strike. Apparently I went around. I don't see it. So now it's 0-1 on a questionable strike call. And that is, just too slow. Just a little blooper in front of the shortstop. Kahn with his speed can often get those to be infield singles, but not this time. I will say the pitch was like just below the zone, so it wouldn't have been the worst pitch to swing at, but I definitely didn't go around. And that's going to do it for this game as the Pirates defeat the Cardinals 3-0 off of a wonderful 8-inning, 5-hit performance from Critch Archer. 3 walks, only 4 strikeouts, but if 4 will do it, that'll do it. As we move on to the final game in this series, I'm fading here. I don't know. I have my headphones on still. Take those off. That'll be better. Oh, and this is great because Kahn comes in as a pinch hitter. That's why I need to get my durability up because I keep having to miss games. I'm going to say hit a double or better. Let's find out. With no runners on base here in the top of the 7th as Kahn comes in as a pinch hitter for, again, I'm going to guess Austin Gomber. 5-2 Pittsburgh. Kahn swings and misses at a pitch just low. Just below the knees, but he is quite a low ball hitter. Here comes the next pitch to Lucas Khan. And that is just off the plate, but swung far too early. Looks like a swinging a garden hose out there. It's now quickly 0-2. Khan held up. Oh, come on. Another terrible call on a swing and miss from the third base umpire. And that'll do it for the Pittsburgh Pirates series as Khan strikes out. And that's going to do it for this stream. Thank you for watching. Beast Base, yes, let's do that. I have a record player. Thanks, guys, for watching, especially if you watched all of this garbage at the end. And maybe we'll be live again next week. ? Who knows? Bye.